Good evening, everyone. My name is Aidan Squires, and I welcome you to the Thermaltake Sprint Series, round 6 of 6, so final round tonight at the lovely Kyalami racetrack in South Africa. The sun's out, we got no rain on the radar so far, so it's looking like it's going to be a dry race, and I'm joined by the lovely Matt Madden back from a Hawaiian holiday.
Hey, aloha, as they say over there, but back on Australian soil, it is g'day, Aiden, g'day, viewers, g'day, everyone. So good to be back in the box, mate, at one of my favourite tracks. I'm incredibly excited to drive here tomorrow night, but tonight you and I get to sit back in the spectator's seat. It's looking dry so far for a variable condition race. No rain on the horizon, no wind blowing in any weather as well. In these sorts of race conditions, mate, what's your pick? Are you looking for a little bit of rain to tease things out, chew things up, or are you quite happy with it being an entirely dry race?
Oh, look, I think these guys out on track will be hoping that it stays this way. Sunny, optimum track, 24 degrees, so pretty good racing conditions. Obviously, the ones who thrive on a little bit more chaos are going to be wishing for some of that rain, but I think the guys out there are currently lapping, like Lele, who's just started his flying lap. I'm going to hope the conditions stay like this for the rest of the race.
Yeah, too right. And being the final round, mate, we've got some pretty tight, contentious battles at the top. I've been unfortunate enough, I've had a great holiday, very happy to have gone away, but I've missed the last couple of weeks of races, and I'm just catching up. So we've got a bit of a situation at the top where Lele has a pretty clear lead in the pro class. I think he holds about an 18-point lead over Benny Vintner. But where are you thinking that this could go crazy? So we've got Benny Vintner here, an excellent driver in variable conditions. Do you think he can actually pull something out? Pull a, well, maybe not a rabbit out of a hat, but maybe a hat out of a rabbit with an 18-point difference tonight?
Oh, look, turn one here is another one of those ones where really anything can happen because it's a kind of sharp left-hander. It does invite some pretty big dives and some chaos sometimes. So if Benny V can get lucky off the start, maybe get a good run on Lele, and Lele happens to fall back a few positions, it's definitely still within the realm of possibility for Benny V to collect this championship in the final round. So yeah, he'll be trying to maximize that start because there is no mandatory pit stop for today. So it's just going to be 1 hour of flat out driving for all these drivers. So no need to jump into the pits, no real strategy, just drive, don't kill your tyres, and yeah.
Bob's your uncle, Robert's your mother's brother. It sounds so simple when you put it like that. Yeah, are you a lover or a hater of Kyalami?
I think it's a pretty good track. I've done a few enduros and races here. Yeah, I think it's got a good variety, and being a Ford driver, like we've just seen, Josh Vertiger's just put it on pole. It's pretty strong around here, especially in the dry. In the wet, it's a bit more of a handful, but yeah, in the dry, it's a bit of a monster around here. So if you can handle it, it's definitely going to work for you.
Yeah, those front engine cars just tend to really drive the pants off this track. A lot of curbs you can use, a lot of those mid-speed corners. Just try and hold your speed as much as you can, and it's such a good track for overtaking and defending too. Like, there's some really cool opportunities, particularly as you're coming up the hill into Lukop, that top hairpin. Great overtaking opportunity, however, very easy to defend on the inside there. Well, I wouldn't say famously, but notably in the last Enduro, Bruno Ellis's team.
My team.
Yeah, your team. I didn't realize you were on that one as well. Hello, hi. So, I gave you guys a little bit of a we'll call it a kiss. It was a bit of a smooch. It was a not my proudest moment, but you guys produced the error from me. Unfortunately, I took you with me in that error. But I think that this track really does produce that. And then now we're just watching Buskovus go down the mineshaft route there into the Crocodiles complex and Cheetah, and that is another great spot for overtaking. But again, super easy to defend if you just hold that inside line. So produces some pretty magical racing moments, I reckon, this track.
Yeah, Benny V's gonna steal pole here potentially. Yeah, it's pretty close to the top, 0.02 seconds between Vintner and Vertiger. Saxon Hayes also not too far behind, and Lele. So the top three right now, like you were saying, all front engine cars, GTR, Mustang, and Aston in the front. So these are also some really competitive times for the people up the top. Looking at, 40. Just breathing into the 40s now, which is pretty good for these sort of temperatures. So yeah, hopefully this quali stays nice and competitive for us, as a few of the guys have jumped back to the pits now to put on a fresh set of boots and head out for a second shot.
For sure. And now, like, looking down the leaderboard a little bit as well, it's always worth going through and having a look at Silver Class, Pro Am, and Am. Tell me about Benny Piper, who's currently sitting 57 points clear of Sicanius. And he's in an Audi as well. We're watching him here.
Yeah, another lunatic in the Audi, as he just drives straight over that curb at the top of the hill and starts his descent now all the way down to the bottom into Crocodile and through Mineshaft as he goes. As Lele is up again, so 2.5 tenths here. As long as he maintains this to the line, he'll take pole by about a tenth.
Easily.
So yeah, a 40.9 done by Ben, which is a pretty good time. Lele's going to maintain sort of that 2.6 tenths to the line, but that is still a really close sort of top four. The McLaren of Billet's a little bit further away right now, but Ben Vintner now is going to come around to possibly, I don't think he's going to take
7, it's going to be really close, 0.05.
Yeah, just didn't have enough there, but he's going to keep going. He's going to keep doing his best, and I'm wondering if Luke Johnson is in here, because I haven't seen him yet. Have you seen him?
No, I haven't seen his name pop up as well, and it's actually worth noting that currently sitting in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th are a mix of Pro-Am and Silver Class drivers, which is excellent to see. Ralphie's just also set a 140.875. We have seen people crack into the 139s here. I don't know if we're going to do it in this heat. I think, Benny Hignan, our man on the cams tonight, did say that it was kicking up around 30-odd degrees, which is quite hot and slippy. It's not variable rain, but it's definitely some variable heat, which is going to make it really hard to send those times way down into the green delta as we watch Benny Piper just go a little bit wide up there on the run-up into a Lukop.
Yeah, I think the sort of top times for this session is probably going to be about a 40.6, or maybe just a little bit less than that, from my guess, because in this sort of heat, it does kind of suck away that time, as we're seeing Ralphie head through the S's now. In the Ford, you can absolutely monster these curves and kind of drive over them to rotate the car and line you up for this run up the hill. Like you were saying, pretty good overtaking opportunity. I've definitely pulled off some maneuvers going up the hill with the drive that the Ford's able to get out of the S's as he comes down the hill now. So he's actually behind Lele here, so maybe he's going to try and pick up a toe or something a little bit sneaky. He's still a 10th up, so on track to improve this lap. As he heads through Crocodile, he's going to eat that inside curb, power out to the outside using first gear, and fairly high TC here too. Get a little bit of a slide, really sending it through that second last corner. Don't hit that sausage too hard because you'll go flying, but he has kept it pretty well together, and that's going to be pretty easy pole here by 2 tenths for Ralphie.
Yeah, look at that. That is a flying lap. It even looked a little bit ginger through Cheetah. That's the right-hander curve where it has one of those Narnia bumps on the inside, the big yellow sausage that'll absolutely send you into oblivion. I feel like when you're going for as hard as you can in quali at this track in particular, you've really got to chance it with that turn. Once you sort of get a banker lap down, you put a faster one, and then you've really got to just try and send it through Cheetah as fast and as hard as you can. As we're watching Buskovus here, who's currently 0.25 up. Excellent lap so far, and he's only just at the S's here, Aiden. We're about to head up into Lukop.
He's kind of run wide on that mid part of the S's though, and dropped about a 10th on his time, so that'll come back to sting him. Yeah, he is still valid, but that will come back to sting him if he ends up, just a little bit off his target sort of time down in P6. I mean, still not a terrible effort, definitely. He's still putting in a decent time here. So for 6, he's got Wesley Yao quite close behind him, although he's in the pits, so he's not going to improve off this. So Buskovus now lining up Cheetah here could improve by 3 positions if he nails this last sector, which it looks like he has. He's going to come into the final corner, line up that exit, try to get it on the power as smoothly as possible, drive out to the outside. And it looks like, he's probably going to pick up another 2 positions or 3. Oh no, 4 positions.
Oh my goodness, he's in second place. Great lap, Buskovus.
So he's just nicked Lele by the finest of margins there. I think it's 0.005 that he's got on Lele from that last lap. So maybe
Excellent.
without that little mistake that I said through the S's, he could have got pole.
Yeah, for sure. And it's such a tough spot. I reckon that was a bit of a safety lift there too. It's so easy to run invalid. It's one of the few corners on this track that's really quite dangerous for that. We also just saw Mr. Crispy, Steve Lewis, rocket into 8th place there with 0.2 up on his Delta. We're watching Saxon Hayes now sitting quite level. Whenever you can, Mr. Biggie Higgy, if you can get us a view on Lucas Marshall too, I'd love to see where he is. I did see him. He's currently sitting in 10th.
Yeah.
So Lucas Marshall is sitting in a fighting position of the overall points, but needs to be doing a little bit better than 10th off the start here, and we are red on the Delta. So I think it's comfy to say we can go back and have a look at Saxon or whomever. I know I'm sending you absolutely everywhere, Mr. Hignett. I'm sorry for that, but we're watching Saxon Hayes currently flying down Mineshaft. This big, long straight would be great if he has a tow, but he is on his own down here, going into the Crocodiles corner section thing, whatever part of the track, last sector. And he's just going to sit level pretty much there coming into this is Cheetah.
Here he goes. He's got a
runs
on the grass, but that is fairly safe. He can do that in the GT3. He's going to hold his Delta equal running up to the line, so possibly no improvement for Saxon, but there are still cars out on laps right now, according to, and this is Ben Vintner, who's only a 10th down. That Delta's going to change a little bit as he comes through.
Oh, that's an excellent exit out of Lukop.
Yeah, it is. So this sort of top 4 is so close in terms of time, all within almost 3/10 of each other, which is just a tiny margin. Blake Griffiths also almost half a second up as Vintner now heads through Crocodiles. He's going to line up Cheetah. You got to send this hard, Benny. Come on. If you want any chance of getting pole, you got to really throw it in. Oh, it doesn't seem to regain that time, and I think he's going to have to finish in his current position, which is P4. Still a good effort by Ben Vintner, but not quite the result he would want, especially in such a close sort of type of battle as we were talking about before. Blake Griffiths now coming through Cheetah, eats that inside curb, runs the exit curb as well, pitches it into the final corner, half a second up, sorry. Kind of loses it on exit, unfortunately.
Just lost that. It's the big pedal on the right, Blake, but that's a great lap. Still 0.2 up, improving into 24th. We got Bowden now, one of the last cars out there on the track. Jamie Convoy asking where wet in chat. We know, JC, it's not coming tonight, we think. It's the summer. We're heading into summer. The rain's all done, mate. No rain tonight, it looks. Benny Hignett agreeing there as well. And we are all done for qualifying. Take a look at that. Jamie Convoy starting in 35th. Last to first challenge, question mark?
Yeah, I think Johnson, Rondinella and Convoy and Keys also going to be coming from the back. So keep an eye out for those guys. But that was a really good quali for the top sort of 5. I mean, they are so close. That is something that is a little bit unnerving as a driver, having such a close quali, because you know that pretty much everyone in this top 5 is going to be in for a shot of winning, and they're going to be sitting on your rear bumper for basically the entire race. So as long as they can keep their noses fairly clean, I reckon this is going to be a pretty good race.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the, known to many Octane Online racers. This track produced one of the most spectacular commentary moments of all OOR history, I think, which is there's a lot of information to bleep out, but yeah, it was the car park after turn 1 into turn 2, which is the Juxki sweep out of Crowthorne and into Barbecue. It's a tough corner to navigate. You mentioned before that we do see a lot of incidents in this space, so hopefully everyone can keep it together. The last couple of weeks have been pretty good. Everyone's been relatively well behaved from what I've seen, so hopefully we can keep it together tonight and produce a really strong race start to allow basically everyone to contend for the title. But as we see in motorsport, particularly if anyone's been watching the V8s the last couple of weeks between Gold Coast, and then we've also had Bathurst 1000 a few weeks ago, mate, motorsport just produces some of the most random, fantastical and really game-changing moments.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to quite be receiving the Bathurst rain that we saw.
No.
It looks pretty dry, and I think that's a fairly safe call to say that it's going to be dry for the rest of the race. But yeah, Ben Vintner in the Aston, I'm sure he'd be happy if it started raining, because that car is an absolute monster in the wet. But I don't think it's going to be coming quite to him, so he's going to have to get the job done in the dry. And also Lele, I think is Lele in front of him? Is one car maybe? In
Yes,
the
could
read?
be. I think he's sitting P3.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Ben, that's not quite the quality that I think he was wishing for. Because yeah, we were doing some calculations before, and Ben Vinton needs to finish in front of Lele by quite a few positions to actually walk away with the title. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of pressure for him to try and get in front of Lele and make up that sort of lost ground that he has. As we're looking at the lovely coloured Lexus Nissan thing of Lucas Keys at the back, and there's Luke Johnson as well, and I assume JC is also near this area too.
Yep, there's a lot going on in some of those liveries, and I think that's actually a new one on the left-hand side where we've got the Aston. Quite a lot of colours. I'm a big fan of that actually. And then whatever the hell this is, Jaden Rondinella. Just don't. Yeah, correct. Biggie Higgy. I just don't get it.
This Mustang is a plus from me. That's a thumbs up.
Yeah, big thumbs up.
Shell Mustang. Although it could be a bad omen after Kosteki's weekend at Gold Coast.
Through the chicanery, Anyway, thoughts and prayers with the cameraman.
Shell Fords and chicanes. Yeah, not a good combo. So
Lucky.
That's not a bad omen.
We don't really have a chicanery in the same way here, so I think we're okay. Fingers crossed. No commentators cursed. Just looking through the chat. Hopefully I'm a little bit louder for you there. And Hitlick as well, but we've also got Dave Stevo, missed the intro. Aiden Squires bringing us in strong there, Davo, but also Quali. You're seeing the results on your screen. Raupi, Buskovus, Lele all put down mid 140 lap times, and then Benny Vintner high 140, Vediger, Hayes, Billet, Lewis, everyone just sitting behind it. Quite competitive, not much time between them. But as we know, Dave, the quali is done. If you want Benny V to win, he has to put on some absolute magic and masterclass tonight. We talked through the statistics before. I think we'd need Benny Vintner to finish at least 2 spots ahead of Lele on the podium for him to nab that lead, because it's an 18-point lead that Lele currently holds. So that would be a stellar race from Benny Vintner, and something going hugely wrong for the Cheetos car, Lele.
Yeah, they're all going to file through. Not really. Okay, they're lining up double file now. They were kind of all over the place just then. There is quite a big gap towards the middle here. I hope they're all going to get nice in formation before we go to start. But here they are side by side, 2x2, as they slowly trundle, hitting their tyres and their brakes up through Cheetah here. So we got Raupi taking away the grid on the lead, and I've also noticed he's been put up to pro, which I'm going to say is a pretty worthy promotion.
I think so too.
Followed by Stan Buskovus in P2, Alele in P3, Vintner, Vediger, Hayes, Billet, Lewis, Perkins, and Yao closing out the top 10 as they run down the main straight now, getting ready for the start. Race start initialized should be any time soon here. And they're away now, green, so can't really see exactly who's got a good start. So Buskovus is now moving over to the inside to try and cover off Lele, who's on the inside. They're 3 wide heading into turn 1 on that second row now between Lele, Raupi and Hayes there. And Raupi's lost a position out of all that, so unfortunately he's dropped 1 position as there is contact in the rear, exactly the spot where we thought it would happen. However, everyone seems to have gotten through fairly unscathed, and Ben Vintner now is in P2, so he's got a good start, like we were saying. Exactly what he needs to do. He needs to win this race if he wants to beat Lele in their current position, so he's going to stay right on the back of Stan Buskovus, putting as much pressure as he possibly can on this first lap to try make Buskovus make a mistake and allow him to walk away with that lead. But I don't think Buskovus is going to be falling for it as of yet. But he's a little bit wide through the S's. Maybe Vintner can get a run going up the hill here and send something on lap 1. He is pretty close behind. He's going to look to the inside here. He is going to go for that move. Buskovus comes down the track, almost contact, but they make it through. No contact, no turning around, which is pretty common up there. That's Lucas Keys as well, made up of a few positions. And there is contact a bit further back. That is the Ferrari of Darth, I believe, or yeah, Chris Darth in that green Ferrari. So Ben Vintonen now just trying to consolidate this lead and hold off the marauding cars behind him.
I am absolutely speechless. What a race start from Benny Vintonen. Up into first, and then we've also seen Raupi drop back to fourth. Lele and Buskova sitting in second and third. That is a stellar race start. My goodness.
Yeah, Vedica just snuck up the inside of Raupi there. Just kind of went for the move. And now Saxon Hayes is looking up the inside, possibly going to look 3 wide. They're not going to go 3 wide yet, but I have a feeling it could be when they get down to the braking zone. Vedica is side by side with Hayes. Yep, Hayes has got that position done actually. So Vedica's gone kind of all over the place on this race start. He got Raupi just then, but he's going to send.
Vedica down the inside.
But Saxon's just going to hold that momentum on the outside and maintain his position. And yeah, Vedica just kind of dropping off the back now. So very, very sort of shifting start sequence we've had here with people going up and down. Oh, that sideways. Steve Lewis with that Bentley really close for comfort, possibly going to look for a move here. It's really close in this midfield. There's multiple cars going 2 wide in the background. That is Zach Jensen, I believe, in the Nissan, and Lee Perkins in that kind of group behind, going side by side through this sort of mid-sector here. As the Bentley now has a good run on that McLaren of Steve Lewis. Is going to try and look around the outside at the top of the hill, but that's a very difficult move. We've also got to move on for Benjamin Piper here. Against Wesley Yao, I believe that is. Yeah, in that Porsche.
In the Porsche 992. Yep, he's up the inside there and gets it done. Coming down, Lucas Marshall coming into the Crocodiles, losing a position out there to Steve Lewis. Crispy, the Pro-Am McLaren, is in there and in there to stay, holding true a little bit wide through Crocodiles and coming up into Cheetah Curb. Manages to miss it, takes a very, very safe line, puts 2 wheels in the dirt, but holds on into and through. Ingwe, what a race start, mate. That was absolutely sensational. Benny Vintonen putting down a 1:42 as the fastest lap of the race. That will no doubt get beaten as the fuel load drops. That's incredible. Raupi getting robbed off the start a little bit. Very average start in the Ford there. A little bit of contact in the rear as well through Barbecue, and I think just lost a lot of drive, dropped back those extra spots. Kind of got bullied out for track position in those early moments of the race. A quick call out as well. Thank you everyone in chat for keeping us aware of it. Lucas Keys started in 28th, is already up to 15th now on the second lap of this race, mate.
Yeah, I think Lucas might spoil the party for some of the guys up the top that are looking for the podium. Because if he keeps up this rate, he's going to be on the back of them in no time. We all know how quick Lucas is, so I think that's not a surprise to many people here. But yeah, I'm really impressed by Ben Vintonen's start. Just able to, get off the line and be aggressive, but not too much, which has enabled him to, get the lead this early. And he's even starting to extend a gap now on Buskovas and Lele, who are kind of stuck fighting. Lele, I think, maybe just getting held up a little bit at the moment, and yeah, if the points are as they stand, I think Vintonen might just grab the title, so this is looking really good for them.
Yeah, absolutely, and to throw it up the inside of Lukop on the first lap, I will talk about that move for the rest of the evening. I'm seeing Benny Vintonen this weekend, and I look forward to buying him a beer and celebrating that move with him on the night. But we're watching Saxon Hayes here locked in a battle, charging down fourth. We've also got Vedica hard on his tail. Benny Vintonen setting a 1:41. Times are already coming down. Track has gone down to 28 degrees, which is a little less slippy than your early 30s, but it's not too bad. Saxon Hayes looking to throw a move up the inside there of Raupi, going 2 wide through Crowthorne and into the Juxie sweep, but Raupi is going to have the inside line. Contact, very good driving from the 2 of them. Gonna just, we haven't had any movement on position there, but it is a stellar drive from both of them. Seeing an exceptional knowledge of car position and pace there.
Yeah, this is super close between these two. The GTR went for a pretty big move under brakes. Raupi did give him room, but obviously the narrower you are on that extra turn one, the more sort of compromise your drivers. So we're going to get a replay at the start here. So watch Raupi in that blue. Yeah, Lele's really close to the back of him and is just able to exploit that. So Possibly maybe a little bit of speeding on the start, but
Check
yeah,
the reverse here, though. Benny Vintner, 4th to 1st, and Ralpy 1st to 4th. What?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
How
yeah.
good's that?
Yeah, a little bit of contact between these two guys that we didn't pick up at the start, and yeah, Vettiger just sending those moves into turns 3 and 4 up there, just really being brave and sticking his nose up and gaining some positions, but then losing them again as he tried to do more moves and just kind of lost time in doing that and was overtaken. But yeah, Vintner now out to 1.7 seconds in front of Buscovis. And getting another replay here, so I think this is going to be what
mid-pack.
Yeah, penalties are on the way for, or Steve Lewis has given that Ferrari a pretty hefty whack in the rear quarter panel. That's sent Ferrari spinning, and now Saxon Hayes right on the back of the Ford. The GTR, one of the only cars that can really challenge the Ford on the straights here. Trying to look for a move. Bentley's also looking for a move on the McLaren. He's going to get that inside, get that better drive with that Bentley drive out the corner, and Steve Lewis maybe nursing a little bit of damage on that car from what we saw just then.
Yeah, and the McLaren doesn't handle damage too well, so he's going to be really struggling, particularly through some of these mid-speed corners for that front-end grip. So we'll wait and see where he ends up now. We're back on board with Saxon Hayes sitting in the top 5, locked in this 3-way battle of the front engine monsters. We've got a Ford sandwich here with a GTR wedged in the middle like a slice of cheese, cured meat perhaps. He's locked in the middle of this battle. Less than a second between the three of them now. Ralphie fighting for everything he's got. But as he said, that GTR is so good on the straights as well. Tell me, the Ford brakes versus the GTR brakes, who's winning under brakes there?
Oh, the Ford, I reckon, in terms of raw braking power, and just I think the brakes are a little bit better in terms of what they give you. But because the GTR has that overspeed, as long as they kind of put their car on the inside, you can't really do anything, because if you turn across, obviously, you might just end up taking yourself out. So I think Saxon has a pretty good chance here, so long as he can stay nice and close to the back of that Ford. Onto the straight as well. The Ford has restrictor now, so it's not quite what it used to be on the straights, which leaves it even more vulnerable to the Nissan. But yeah, the Ford seem to have gotten a pretty bad start as well. As I say that, Ralphie gets the purple lap, so maybe they're coming in, maybe they're starting to hit their stride now as Saxon again looks for a move but can't quite pull it off as Ralphie just stays in the middle of the track to defend it. There's Buscovis and Lele in front as well, so both in McLarens, they're going to find that, well, Lele in particular, it's going to find it a little bit harder to overtake because he is driving against the same car, so he's not going to have any really good advantages he can leverage as they run through Sunset now. This really fast right-hander, absolutely just terrifying where, but in the dry, it's pretty fun.
Well, mind you, it's one of those corners where if you miss the black stuff, if you miss that really grippy part of the track, you're a passenger. You are what? As we see Saxon Hayes there, 2 fingers to the temple, either side of the head. Dr. X going for a mind punt. He's trying to give it everything he's got to get in the wing mirrors of Ralphie there, but unsuccessful so far. Ralphie being cool. Just drop his mirror. I know JC and a few other people have their mirrors off. Maybe Ralphie's doing the exact same thing. Don't focus on what's behind you. Look at the track in front. Just try and drive the damn car. You a mirror on or mirror off person?
Oh, mirror on. I'd like to see what's about to kill me before I die, but I think maybe the Ford potentially just struggling a little bit with race pace, potentially just a little setup issue or something. And Scott Rochford in the chat has also let us know that Lucas Keys is up to P10, which is only about 5 or 6 seconds behind this group, which kind of goes to the lead. So yeah, not far off little Lucas. I have a feeling he's going to arrive on the scene in the not too distant future, and I actually reckon he could potentially win this race so long as he keeps up that pace. 1:41.4, that is qualifying pace in the race by Lucas, so he is definitely storming up to the back of these guys. So they only have a limited amount of time to really get their moves done. As oh no,
we cursed it, we said it. God, no!
Look, it's got the damaged front as well. It's a mirror image.
Can somebody go check the cameraman, please? Make sure he's alright. I'm just watching the Gold Coast 500 all over again. No.
Yeah, exactly. And Lele looking very racy now on the back of Stan. Stan so just maybe struggling a little bit with that race pace. He's dropped 2 seconds to Vintner, and every lap that Lele is sort of stuck behind Stan, he's just bleeding time, because there's no tyre or mandatory stop in this race. You just, yeah, if you're stuck behind someone, you just bleed time, because there's no strategy option either. Lucas Keys
looking to go around Steve Lewis here. Steve Lewis defending as well. We like to see people defending against Lucas Keys. The man, the myth, the legend. People often just pull over and let him pass, but holy cow, Steve Lewis defending for all it's worth. Every position matters at this point of the season. We love to see it in round 6. Excellent work from Crispy. Does get a little bit drifty through the Crocodile's turn complex coming into Cheetah. How close is he going to cut it to the big yellow sausage? Manages to drift around. Oh, he's got to be carrying some rear wing damage or something. That car is lacking some downforce. We've also, as you said, Scotty Rochford letting us know where Lucas Keys is at. You're our race engineer on Mr. Keys tonight, Scotty. We'll be looking to you during the race for Mr. Keys updates. But yeah, we're definitely going to see Lucas get it done here. Keys going up the inside, yep, and then Steve Lewis just bowing out. Going to try and tuck in nice and tight through here after Crowthorne, looking to get a bit of a toe out of that and through the Juxkey sweep. Trying to just watch the lines that Lucas Keys is pulling. We've got cars side by side as well, Raupi and Vediger. Vediger looking to push up on Raupi. We've seen these two battling. Saxon Hayes has got ahead of them as well. We'd love to go back and see a replay of that whenever we can, Mr. Hignett. But we got Raupi around the outside, which means Vediger's going to have the inside up through. That's not barbecued. That is, it's escaping me now. I'll come back to you on it. But that is an excellent move up into the S's there as well. Why can't I think of that damn turn
Clubhouse.
name? Clubhouse. You know why I've forgotten the name of it. It's my least favourite turn on the track. I hate that thing.
Yeah, so we're getting a replay here. So Saxon, Rappy just kind of forgetting to defend there, or letting Saxon pass, which is quite weird, considering he's defended. He does try to go for a switchback, but I think Saxon's just going to put his car in the middle of the road, and I think I know what's coming here. Vediger's going to launch up the inside.
Yeah, looking to take advantage of the move.
Yeah, so how did he get side by side? Okay, well, he got side by side somehow, which we didn't quite catch there, but yeah. Saxon Hayes now through. He's setting after Lele, and Lele just getting held up a little bit, so Lele maybe is going to be a bit vulnerable to Saxon due to, just kind of being stuck behind Moscovis. And when you're kind of in this middle position like he is, it's very easy to get overtaken because you have to try and attack and defend at the same time, and it's very difficult.
Yep, too right. You're just here and you got pain in front, pain behind, and you don't really know what to do to get out of it. But you got to think, Moscovis is driving really, really well to keep Lele behind. Again, as much as we said they're going tit for tat, you cannot make a mistake. We've got a replay here. This is the Audi that I really like the colouring of.
Maybe a mistake.
That's really hard. Crispy Steve Lewis taking people out tonight. Buying flowers first, Steve.
Yeah, I think possibly a pen on the way, and I don't know, was that Steve Lewis? Because Steve is still in P9, maybe, I'm not sure, but still at the top of Pro-Am, yet to receive any penalties. So yeah, Darryl Lim as well, leading Silver. So if you didn't watch last week, Darryl was leading Silver after a great battle until like 15 minutes to the end, and then he got a drive through for track limits. So hopefully he can redeem himself today by not getting any drive-throughs from track limits and taking home the silver win for the Audi. Is now the Bentley is under attack from the Nissan. Oh wow, that's a car. Is that a car round?
Oh, that's Lele.
I think.
Moscovis round, and Lele is off as well. Yes, everything's happening.
Oh, no. So Lucas Keys and Marshall go through. So that's a crocodile. So I have a feeling I know what's happened. Lele's probably sent it.
Looking for a move.
Moscovis is off the track again, and Steve Lewis
going up the middle between them says thank you very much. I'll take that.
Just says thank you and drives off. So I reckon there's been a move attempt by Lele there, and that is possibly going to... I don't want to jinx it, but that right there could have sealed the championship. Because Vincent is in the lead. Lele might cop a penalty for that. We will have to see a replay. Here we go. So Lele coming down mineshaft into Crocodile.
Oh, no, it's late on the brakes.
Very hot, and yeah, he's just turned him. So that's going to be a penalty for Lele, 100%, I reckon.
Yeah, and a redress as well. Knows what he's done. Yeah, it's great sportsmanship. It's an unfortunate thing. We've all been there. We've all done it. Miss your braking marker. Give a little kiss on the behind to the car in front. Inexcusable, though. That will be hit with a big stick, I'd say, at this point of the championship.
Yeah. Even after redressing, I'm not sure if the stewards are gonna give that one to him in terms of not providing a penalty, but that means Lucas Keys is now up to P5, so he's just driven through that and thought, oh, that's a few cars that got out my way, and this, I think, is Steve Lewis here. He's just gonna drive between the two McLarens.
Just gonna thread the absolute needle. Wow!
Oh my. I mean, it's a steal, I have to admit.
I'm sorry, I'm already calling it. That's my thermal overtake of the night. That's great. 2 for 1 sales, says Steve Lewis. I'll have them both. That is incredible. Sadness, absolutely, says Scotty Rochford. Saxon Hayes up in second now, 3.2 seconds. Let's watch that gap. He is giving it everything he's got, Captain. He's trying to put it all on the line to catch up to Benny Vintoner's Aston, which is now 3.1 seconds ahead, cruising through, but might have to put a bit of that right foot in just to make sure that he stays clear of the pack. I
think the main threat to the lead is Lucas, honestly.
I'm scared.
He's not too far off, and now that Lele and Buskovas, who were fighting, are also out his way, he's going to have less traffic to deal with. That's a big send from Wesley Yao. He's going to leave him vulnerable to the old switcheroo, as they say, as they switch. Well, that's pretty close.
Bit of a close block there from Zach Jensen, who is currently leading over Harry Murphy in the Pro-Am class as well by 19 points. So Harry Murphy needs to finish 4 positions above Zach Jensen, which is currently not happening. He's 4 positions behind, rather. So, yeah, Zach Jensen looking to seal the deal there.
Yeah. Jensen driving well so far, just letting Yao going a little bit deep into turn 1 and then just get the better drive on the exit. And now Steve Lewis, he's under attack from Stan Buskovas. Buskovas possibly can't go to the inside yet, but that is very wide from Steve Lewis. Well, there's a slide on the exit, there's a bit of a bump. Buskovas is going to get through. The question will be now, can Lele make something of this? Lewis is going to try and have a look at a potential retake of the position, but I think he just won't be able to get it done. And now Lele's going to try and go around the outside. It's going to be very... it's going to be scary. There's a bit of contact. Now they're running side by side into Cheetah.
Oh no!
Lele. Oh wow! He saved it though.
That's incredible.
A little bit of help from Steve. But it was. I'd like to see the onboard of that and his steering wheel, because he would have just ripped that thing sideways. But yeah, Lele just... he's just falling away now. It's just falling through his fingers. He was doing so well before, just in P3, and now he's dropped to P9. And although there is 40 minutes left in the race, I really doubt that he's going to have enough time to really reconsolidate what he's lost over the last few laps.
Too wide through Cheetah is never advisable. We're seeing the exact moment here. Oh, full left lock, and then Steve Lewis says, "Oh, don't worry about that, mate. I'll straighten you up before I take off. I'll leave you in a good position. Always leave it better than you found it, right?" Incredible work from Mr. Crispy there. Great stuff. Lucas Keys now sitting in 5th. Scotty Rochford, official race engineer of Lucas Keys tonight, thanks Scotty, has been letting us know that Keys hasn't overtaken anyone for the last 2 laps. It doesn't sound like a crazy thing, but I think that's the first 2 laps that he has not overtaken anyone. So he's now sitting comfortably in 5th. There's a 2.1 second gap to Ralphie, and then even more ahead of that. So he's got his work cut out for him, but he is giving it all he's got. Harry Murphy also sitting, I think, 4 positions behind Zach Jensen now, or 3 and a bit. But he's sitting there tight on the tail of this battling pack. It's going to be really interesting to see if he can get anything done. But again, as a reminder for championship points, the tightest midfield battle there is, he has to finish 4 places higher in the top 15, or 7 places higher outside the top 15, to beat Zach Jensen in overall points. And a huge thank you to Bruno Ellis, aka Breno, for putting together the championship summary for us tonight. Thank you so much, mate. You saved us a lot of headaches, reading and mathematics.
Yeah, I've also noticed Lele has a red 15-second penalty next to his name, so that is going to just increase the the pain, unfortunately. So that'll be added to his end of race time. And that will drop him quite a few positions, so long as, yeah, he doesn't create a massive gap. But I kind of doubt that's going to happen, considering he's sort of stuck in this sort of midfield pack. And now the Audi, Ben Piper is right on him. Oh, Daryl Lim, he's lost the... Oh, come on, Daryl, man. You just gave us hope, and now you've lost the silver lead again. So Ben Piper now in the lead of silver class in the Audi, although Breno will be just absolutely foaming at the mouth. There's two Audis in the top two. That's very wide from Daryl there. Going to compromise his line massively coming into Clubhouse, and he does lose the position to Zach Jensen, and now the Porsche is attacking him. So Daryl just going backwards. I've cursed him yet again after last week, talking about how he needs to not get any drive-throughs this week and just keep it clean. And yeah, now he's dropping back.
What, you try to avoid drive-throughs? Oh no! Steve Lewis, our thermal overtake of the night, is facing the wrong way up at Lukop. It looked like, God, no,
Was
Crispy.
it behind him? Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no.
I'll pick it out.
Oh, not again.
Oh no. Oh
no, he's
okay. Well, it could be worse. I think Lewis just kind of lost that on his own, and then Lele obviously assisted him a bit. So we'll see what the stewards have to say about that one.
Well, you know, after Steve gave Lele a hand turning around, maybe Lele was trying to give him the same courtesy, just pushed a little bit too much through.
Oh, Lele's in the pits.
Lele's in the... Whoa.
Okay, that's weird. Maybe they think that they're going to get another penalty? Oh, RTG. Oh no.
Oh no, driving in. Oh, maybe there's a bit of damage going on there. Oh, Lele out of it, which means...
Yeah.
Benny Vintner sitting in first with a 2.255 second lead. So that has been cut into by almost a second now by Saxon Hayes. Lele is going to need to lay low after this one, says Scotty Rochford in chat.
This basically means that he's won the championship pretty much, no matter, as long as he doesn't DNF and go right to the back. As long as he stays, in the top 5, which I think he will, or even the top 10, I think he's won this pretty easy. So things are all just going right for him today.
Yeah, the only caveat. I'm back. I'm sitting here, so you're gonna have to watch the race for me while I deal and dive into this. It was all in Lele's hands. However, we actually have Lucas Keys sitting 68 points off Lele. So if he scores maximum points here, and Lele finished 5th or worst, which is happening, there could be some contention for the lead there of the overall championship. But I don't know what needs to happen from Benny Vintner.
Where's Breno?
For that to occur. Where's Breno?
We need you.
Breno,
maths.
We need you to do the maths. If Lucas Keys was to get into first and Benny Vintner second, is there a chance that he could take the championship?
I don't think there's a 6. I think Vintner would also have to fall
to drop out. Surely.
Yeah.
Surely. We need the brains trust.
Lucas, I think that might have been a little bit of bump drafting on the apex of the corner there. Now Lucas is going to try go around the outside at Sunset. We've seen Fords and cars go side by side through here already. It hasn't quite worked out sometimes, but these two, or Lucas trying to go for that little fakey move right on the end into Clubhouse, but isn't able to actually get it done. He's going to stay right on the back of this Ford, and I dare say as long as he just keeps applying this sort of pressure to Raupi, he should be able to get through. But we're always welcome to see an upset or some defending from Raupi, which he seems to be doing so far. He's not making it too easy for Lucas. So, oh wow, that is a gaggle of cars. It's 5 cars.
Yes.
All nose to tail.
No, it's 6. It's 6 pretty much, almost. There's a little bit of a gap to the Nissan of Zach Jensen in the front, but that is a decent battle pack behind it. God, I hate how good Daryl Lim's Audi looks. Man, it's one of the best looking cars on track. I wish it wasn't so hard to drive. As you see, a little bit of tail wagging under brakes there, a little bit of lock up perhaps in the rears from Daryl Lim. A name that sounds so good, you've always got to say it in full. Oh no, whoa, we've seen... Who was that?
Harry Murphy.
That was Harry Murphy.
He's off. Dropped it on there. Possibly went on the grass or something. Just dropped it on the exit. And yeah, he's gone.
Absolute drama and scenes as we see everyone running wide. Daryl Lim shaking the tail of the Audi there. Lucas Keys now going too wide with Ralpy into Crowthorne, it looks. Yep, Crowthorne, turn one, going up. Ralpy concedes a position. Lucas Keys is now on the charge to third, looking towards a podium. He only has 2.5 seconds to make up to get to the back of Vettiger. We're seeing the... Harry Murphy.
Contact with Pascal.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it every time.
Yeah, okay. But he gets dampened right at the end. He actually was fine, and then he kind of hit that grass and started bouncing. And also, Rondinella and Comboy and Johnson are now poking at the top 15. So these guys will possibly be on their way to this big battle that we've just been looking at as Luke Johnson gets underneath Ryan Anderson. And yeah, I think also I just like to see if Lele has like actually left the race or if he's just in the pits once we get a second. Yeah, I just want to see if he's actually driving, because if he's not driving, then yeah, it's pretty much just done. So yeah, we did see him go into the pits 5 minutes ago, but I'm not sure if I see a number 8 driving around.
No, I don't see it at all. He's out of the server. Lele, thoughts and prayers with you. F's in the chat for Lele if we can tonight, guys. We, you know, so it doesn't always go your way. Tonight it definitely didn't. It's super tough out here. Wesley Yao, though, our resident keyboard and mouse driver, I believe we'll have to. I'm pretty sure it's Wesley that does use keyboard and mouse, managing to keep it in the top 10 here. Incredibly fast, insane that he drives on keyboard and mouse.
I think it's Pasca's on controller. You're meaning to say.
Oh, okay. It's Pascal. I thought Wesley Yao was on keyboard and mouse. There's someone that drives keyboard and mouse. Oh my God, Daryl Lim, keep it in a straight line, my man. What's going on? Yeah. Can we get a bit of an onboard lap actually with Daryl Lim for us? Yeah, hang on. Wesley Yao. Oh, never mind. I'm asking too many things if you've been hit. I'm so sorry. Look at.
Yeah, this is why I do not drive the Audi. Right here. As you'll see, it is quite a handful to get around the track. But also, I've noticed Saxon Hayes is closing that gap to Ben Vintner, now down to 1.4 seconds. So Saxon Hayes potentially could pick up what I think is his first sprint win if he can close that gap and actually get past. And Vintner might not fight it too hard as well, because he knows that he just basically needs to finish and he's won. So yeah, if Saxon can start putting on pressure, then he's looking pretty good. So yeah, closing that gap. I'm pretty surprised that Vintner is actually kind of allowing himself to get caught from the pace we saw earlier and from his absolutely blinding start. But yeah, keep an eye on that gap.
We're going to watch Daryl Lim, the Audi here, and we're going to watch that tail start pointing the wrong way out of every turn. And a quick correction from my part, it is not Wesley Yao that that drives on a mouse and keyboard. I cannot remember who it is. It's someone out there that operates an OOR. If it's you, please stand up and wave your hands. I would love to talk to you about how you do the things that you do. The Audi seems to, well, no, I was about to say it seems to be behaving itself, but Daryl Lim, I don't know whether there's rear damage or what's going on, but he is just everywhere. But it's so impressive that he's managing to keep it all together at the moment. Really well done, Daryl.
Yeah, I think it's just Audi things, as they say. Saxon Hayes now 1.2 off Ben Vinton. I've just noticed 1.1 as they cross the line, so that gap is definitely coming down. Lucas Keys as well, not far off the back of Joshua Vettiger. And I have a feeling Lucas or Daryl, that's very deep. He's getting that sort of oversteer you get when you try and push it in too hot in a rear engine car, and the Audi's just exacerbating that. Mustang closing up right on the back as well, so potentially going to look for a move into Sunset, although I dare say you're not going to be driving around the outside of anyone in a Ford, because yeah, it's just not going to happen. But the Audi is drifting Sunset, as we've kind of alluded to. It's a bit of a handful to drive, and I think that's just what's allowing Alex Pascal Armstrong to close onto the back. And now Daryl Lim down to P3 in silver, so was leading, and it's just all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, Benny Piper, our class leader, just surging away with it at the moment, driving really, really well. Pascal Armstrong going to go for a look down the inside, attempting a mine punt, does force Darryl Lim a little bit wide, but Lim manages to keep it, well, I'll say relatively straight. It's probably the straightest I've seen him in the last couple of laps. Incredible work there. I just can't believe that he's still driving it. But speaking of someone that is absolutely driving the damn wheels off the car is Saxon Hayes, now within a second. This would hypothetically be Saxon Hayes' first sprint win in pro class. This could be huge. Benny Vincent are looking to have the championship on lock. We don't know how hard he's going to fight. I don't know if Benny is sitting there. He could be cartographing this for all I know. Like, he could be sitting there mapping it out, thinking about the season points. But you've also got to remember, this is a race. These guys want to win. Benny Vincent wants to come and finish this race in 28 and a half minutes with first next to his name. So you've got to think he's going to defend against Saxon Hayes.
If you could hear something in the background, someone has set off the fire alarm in my house. So, yeah, if there's some squeaking noise in the background, just ignore it.
It is. We're ignoring it. You can go fix it if you need to. Hopefully nothing's on fire. Thoughts and prayers.
I think it's my siblings attempting to cook, so...
Everyone in the chat, can we get thoughts on what is cooking to set off the fire alarm in Aiden Squire's house? The racing is just fire tonight. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely the racing. Could have been maybe some hot-headed boys up there in the top three. We've got everyone surging in, trying to get as close as they can to Benny Vincent. And we are on board now with Lucas Keys, who is hard on the arse of Josh Vediger. This is immense. We have a Nissan and a Ford battling for the top three. Lucas Keys has come from, believe it or not, 28th position tonight to now be in fourth, sticking the nose down at Crowthorne, looking for a way past, going for a famous Lucas Keys mine punt, sits back, nice little gap coming through, has a good run into Juxke's sweep. Going to sit there hard off the back of it, but giving a little bit of room. There's no rubbing his racing. Looking for a way up the inside. There is barely a wheel width between the two cars. Sitting there under the spoiler, going around the outside at Sunset. There's not a way past, but if you can just get around here, braking hard at the 50-meter mark, you really have to try and tuck it in. Get close to it, but this is the hard part. Trying to find your braking marker coming into the S's. Start of the curb there, going up the inside. Take as much curb on the left, as much curb on the right as you can. Try and avoid a safety lip coming up into Lukop. These two cars are locked in a battle. Lucas Keys has the pace, but Vediger defending and driving exceptionally well. I think we've just let Aiden Squires drop off to go check on that fire alarm in his house. The racing is fire tonight, says Benny Hignett in the chat before, and that is absolutely right. We've seen a 141 flat as well race pace. I believe that is Lucas Keys currently holding the purple lap. Incredible stuff, but he's going to be a little bit slowed down by Josh Vediger now. Interesting to see what he's going to do here. I think it's a push to try and say that he's going to catch Benny Vintner in first, but you never know. The fact that he's putting out there easily sitting half a second to a second in front of everyone else's race pace is absolutely immense. We've seen, there we go, Benny Vintner's best lap at the moment in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen is a 141.8. So he is about 0.3 slower than the other cars at the moment. Sitting there, just trying to hold on, just trying to survive. We've also had a confirmation that it is steak that is smoking up the Squire's house. I'm a bit of a classic for that. I don't know if anyone else likes to cook their steak in a cast iron pan as we watch Josh Vediger quickly mowing the lawn out of barbecue and into Sunset. Josh putting the tiger into Vediger. Absolutely, Scotty Rochford. I think he's defending like a lion or a tiger. Either way, at the moment, he's really holding down the fort. We've got Saxon Hayes as well, sitting now 0.6 away from Vintner. Saxon, you got to think he's just eyes locked on getting this win. Couldn't give a rat's ass about the season points. He is all in on the win here. I think Vintner's going to defend it. It'd be interesting to see what you guys in the chat reckon while we wait for Squires to return from, presumably making sure his house is not on fire. But it'd be interesting to see whether or not we think that Benny Vincent is going to defend. Because I don't want to commentator's curse this, but the absolute worst thing I could imagine would be a bit of a locked battle at the start and Benny Vincent gets tangled in some kind of mess. I don't want it to happen, but it could happen. Benny Simpson haven't had steak for hours. It's been at least 2 days for me, and I miss it already. No, I will not be stopping my chat about the steak.
It's turned off.
It's turned off.
Yeah, I'm back.
Welcome back.
The house is not burnt down, but
Good.
I can smell. It's bad when I can smell the smoke from my room, and it's on the other side of the house. So
yeah, that's an impressive run.
Yeah, maybe it's some of that Audi tyre smoke that's being burnt.
From Daryl Lim, just burning rubber everywhere around the track of Kyalami from the wonderful South Africa. Mate, while you were gone, all you missed was a steady move up towards the back of Benny Vincent from Saxon Hayes, and Lucas Keys is now sitting in third. We missed his overtake on Vetiga, but presumably it would have been all class, all pace, probably into one of those long sort of braking zones, such as Lukop or out of Mineshaft into the Crocodiles. But we're here now. We've got the top three. Oh,
I see a yellow car in the back of that camera shot. Here it comes. Cue the Jaws
music.
Here
it comes.
Dun, dun, dun,
dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Here he comes, Lucas Keys.
We're going to watch this overtake. Oh, it's into Crowthorne. My goodness. Goes at the inside, completely blocks it alongside very classy driving, parks on the apex and accelerates away. If you're an academy driver out there and you have your notepad and pen ready, that is exactly how you force an overtake. But speaking of forcing overtakes, we're going to see Saxon do everything he can now to try and put off Benny Vintner. I don't know. Whoa, Saxon Hayes. God, taking lessons from Jaden Rondanella. Looped his mowing in full service there. I don't think there's any grass at all on the outside of Cheetah there, but Saxon Hayes trying to keep it all prim and proper.
I know Saxon won't be giving this one to Lucas for free. He's gonna try keep Lucas behind for as long as possible here. If it means he could potentially go for the win. Really seems to close up on Vintner under braking that GTR. Maybe just being a little bit more confident on the brakes. And now Vintner's probably looking at this thinking, oh great, this is the last thing I want now. Well, Lucas also going to loop
off to the grass.
School. But yeah, Vintner's looking at this going, this is the last thing I want. I don't want to fight two people now. Like this is just, I just want to drive away and, you know, have some track to myself. I don't want two people or three people fighting over the win really here. And Vertiga's not too far off behind as well. So when they do start battling, he's going to close up too. So we're actually, yeah, so I think none of the real front runners that started towards the front except for Vintner are actually up here in the battle.
Actually up there. It's incredible.
Yeah.
This is great stuff. This is proper Bathurst 1000 stuff.
Whoa,
oh no, Saxon Hayes.
Hold it. Oh, Vintner's just held it, so he hasn't gone around, but Saxon...
No, but Vintner was stopped.
Yeah, he's going to get going there, just behind Vetiga, but yeah, Saxon, that's going to be a penalty, unfortunately, I think. And I was just talking about going deep into the corners that I had noticed he was really closing up to the back of that Aston. And now Lucas is right behind, so unfortunately for Vintner, I think that's going to squash his hopes of the winners. We're going to get a replay here. Saxon just closing up.
Oh, it's early on the brakes from Benny Vintner, but I also, yeah, it's tough. This is exactly what you were saying. Yeah, big rip in the chat from Kamaris. It's exactly what you're saying, mate. The GTR was so aggressive under brakes there of Saxon Hayes. I think just, you know, when you're in the chase, when you're on the hunt, you get the smell of blood and you just go after it like a bloodhound. He was giving it everything it had, looking for every ounce of time, and Benny Vintner just trying to safely bring it home. Yeah, I think that's a super, super tough spot to be in. Very unlucky, but Saxon will be whacked on the nose with a bit of a well, let's say a medium-sized stick there, but you have taken out the leader. Tough spot, and now he's got all the problems in a Lucas Keys-shaped Nissan right behind him.
Yeah, Lukov is one of the corners where there's a few different lines you can take, so everyone kind of does their own thing through there. So yeah, it makes it quite a dangerous spot in terms of exactly that happening, because, you know, some people try to go for different lines and just don't quite line things up correctly. But Vintner could be worse off. Or Vetiga's got a DT for track limits, I think.
Oh no!
unless you get a message from Diaballs in the chat saying that was steward induced, I think that's track limits.
I think that's track limits.
So Vinton are now technically back up to P3, and Vediga is going to get dropped all the way down the order by that drive-through.
Yeah, we are going to have to take a quick look down the listing as well. Benny Piper still sitting in first for the silver. If he can keep it there, he should have the win for silver class on lock in the Audi. Breno Ellis, hope you're enjoying this. We've also got the Pro-Am. Zach Jensen is sitting ahead of the pack there after Steve Lewis's earlier incident. Now sitting right the way down in 20 seconds. Still an amazing drive from Steve in the first half of this race. But back up to the front now, Saxon Hayes having to defend against Lucas Keys, who is going for a mine punt. Like we said before, 2 fingers to the temple, trying to sit there and will Saxon to miss his braking marker and go off the racing line. I'd say stewards are currently reviewing the incident between Saxon Hayes and Vintner. If you looked away from your screens for 20 seconds, I'm so sorry you missed it. Saxon Hayes just gave a little bump on the rear to Vintner, who spun around. Benny now sitting back in 4th, but honorary 3rd, with Vediga sitting with a drive-through for track limits. What a race. I'm already calling this is going to be a very exciting finish. I think in at least 2nd through 4th position.
Yeah, look, I dare say Lucas is just kind of biding his time behind Saxon, waiting for a potential penalty or just a mistake. I think he kind of knows that he doesn't have to go for anything. He's not going to push, get any track limits, or, you know, take Saxon out. So he has, I've seen him look for a few moves, but just decides against actually taking them. As Saxon Hayes, 15-second penalty for that incident at Lucop. So that is also going to drop him down quite a bit once they finish. But possibly only to P5, I think, because Marshall was quite far off the back of Ralphie. So it's still a decent finish comparing where he started, because I think he did start around P5 or somewhere around there. So he will hold his position, but what could have been will stick around to haunt him. And I'll just say, don't worry about it. Like, we've all had our silly mistakes while going for the lead. I know I definitely have. Vediga comes in and yeah, Saxon will definitely have his time to take that P1, but we get a replay here. I believe I saw Harry Murphy stop, so I think this is going to be the reason. Maybe a send going up. Oh, that's a big send. And
up to the inside of, yeah, that's the inside of Clubhouse.
No,
barbecue. Sorry.
Yeah, barbecue. You're getting mixed up now.
I am. I'm so focused on making sure I don't lose that corner. Either way, we've got Benny Vinton now sitting in 3rd with the drive-through being served by Vediga. So now we've got Hayes, Keys and Vintner for your Wednesday evening, the final round of the Thermaltake Sprint Series here, round 6 going into the finals. Benny Vintner sitting in the honorary lead of the overall championship with a really unfortunate race from Lele. Really well driven, but so hard when you have that much pressure on you sitting for the win. Can't imagine what goes through your head when you're trying to make it happen. We're seeing the Castrol Aston here. That's a big slide into the wall. Oh, yeah, massive contact.
Destroyed that front. Very slow spin.
Yeah, but it's so easy to do there. Particularly, I haven't found it too bad in the Aston. I used to drive the Macca, and coming out of Lucop there, if you miss the really grippy line, so easy just to enter that slow pirouette. Feel like a ballerina just cruising off and smashing into the wall.
Yeah, so speaking of the finals, you just mentioned it just then. The current rankings are Breno Ellis in the lead, Lucas Keys in 2nd, Patrick Johnson, Lele in 5th, and Vintner in 7th. So quite a few of these guys are actually in pretty good positions for the Thermaltake final series. Stick around to learn more about that one. But yeah, so this race will actually have a pretty big effect. I think Lucas maybe will possibly jump to the lead or be really close to Breno, and obviously Ben's going to get a little bit affected by losing that win that he could have had. So yeah, the final standings definitely been shaken up a little bit by this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've just seen posted in the YouTube chat from Lele himself, just thanking everybody and letting everyone know that this will probably be his last race in ACC. Enjoyed this season thoroughly. Outstanding drive up until this point, Lele. Really, really well done. One of the sickest liveries on the track as well in the big Cheetos Macca. Really well done. I'm so sorry that tonight wasn't your night. Just sometimes, what's a really wise way that we could frame it? Sometimes it do be that way.
Oh, very, very wise, that one.
Yeah. Doing my best. We got Buskovus here now in 6th place. Has fought back from multiple adversities, but managing to keep it in the top 10, and not just in the top 10, but now knocking on the door of 6th as he's not too far behind Lucas Marshall in the Bentley there. Only Bentley on the track tonight. Marshall driving really, really well all season, but this is
he's made up.
I think he's done well.
Quite a bit further down, so...
He started in 11th, I think, just outside the top 10.
Yeah, so he's just chugging away in that Bentley. Obviously, keeping his nose pretty clean. I think we've seen him in some battles, but hasn't really been involved in any accidents or anything. But yeah, Joshua Bettigar, so was doing quite well before he had to serve his driving through for track limits. I guess the good news is that he gets reset to 0 now, so he can take 3 more cuts before. Oh, and Ben Vintner now has a 10-second penalty. So,
oh no, what happened there?
Yeah, that's a miss. Oh, maybe like he tried to rejoin or something, and
or rejoin.
Maybe.
No.
I think we'll have to wait and see if anything is posted in the YouTube chat. But that's the only thing I can really think of. But luckily for him, that's only going to drop him 1 spot to 4th. So Raupi will inherit 3rd because this battle that we're looking at right now of Marshall, Buskovus, and Vettiger are 13 or 14 seconds off the back of him now. So. Not terrible.
Biggie Higgy already on the replay for us. What a man. You were exactly right. Squirrelsby had the poor rejoin here as we unfortunately see him get turned around, stop, start, and then just run Vettiger off the track.
We didn't catch that on the stream originally.
No, we were. I was mourning. I think I was in the 4th or 5th stage of grief at that point. Is that denial? No, denial's the first one. I think I was somewhere towards acceptance, but still bawling my eyes out. It was a very complex wave of emotions for me. I'm not ready to talk about it.
Right. Okay. Well, into the final 12 minutes of this 1-hour race, the temperature is further dropping, so now down to 22 degrees as we see the lights start to fade on the track and the sun start to set. The Bentley's still kind of holding that. Half a second to a second gap on the McLaren of Buskovus, and Vettiger's just slowly pulling up, although that is a bad run from Stan. Vettiger's going to try to run it around the outside, but if I was him, I would have just waited, tried to get a good run out the final corner, because he's really compromised his drive there, but he isn't a Ford, so by the end of the straight, he's definitely going to be able to have an attack again, and with those Ford brakes, he will probably send an assault on this McLaren.
Oh my goodness, that is an assault and a half.
Although he might overshoot the corner going that hard. They're going to run side by side coming up through barbecue. It's super close. Buskovus not giving the Ford so much room to work with, but the Ford comes for the send, retaliatory send up the hill, and makes that move stick. But now they're going to run side by side. There's a little bit of bumping as they come into sunset. Buskovus just a little bit ahead. He's going to have the inside for this, but Vettiger is not giving this one up. He's going to run very wide on the exit, but kind of use that to maintain a bit more of his speed. And he's actually going to get ahead of Buskovus at the apex of Clubhouse. There's a little bit of contact, but they both managed to get through, and Vettiger actually makes that overtake stick on Buskovus. So very aggressive. Yeah.
That was an insane series of corners. Holy cow. It went every which way, and I really wasn't sure who was going to come out on top there. But Josh Vettiger making that one stick. What an absolute flying move. After the straight down the inside, compromised his braking point, braked himself, went way too deep. Buskovus alongside through the Juxky sweep, and then 2 by 2 by 2 running through sunset. And as you said, pulls away from it. Really, really well done. Great drive from both of them. So tough going too wide into sunset. Not tough, terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Quick look down the leaderboard as well. I've just noticed that we've got Rondinella and Conboy in procession in 12th and 13th. They started at the back of the pack. That's incredible.
Just behind too. So
yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that I think from everyone on the stream, we all knew what was coming from Vettiger there. He was going to send it on the inside of barbecue, but I'm a little bit surprised that Buskovus didn't try to cover that one off a little bit more and really just ensure that he couldn't go for that send. But he did get the job done, and now Darryl Lim is under attack from 3 pro drivers. I'm sure this is the last thing Darryl wants. All he's trying to do is survive this race, I reckon. So now Luke D, Convoy and Johnson, I have a feeling will be on the back of this pretty soon if these two get held up. But they are still out of the top 10. So if you compare that to Lucas, who's basically in the lead, these guys are still over, I think that's more than 25 seconds back. So Lucas has just carved his way through the field compared to some of these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm terrified for the life of Daryl Lim here. He's just trying to make this Audi behave. Oh my goodness, we're going too wide into Clubhouse. I hate this turn, and I hate it even more now. We're going to be about 3 wide almost. Okay, Convoy sitting in, tucking behind, missing his brake marker a little bit, getting a little bit slippery into the S's, losing a little bit of ground.
The Audi's literally just going sideways through all these corners, just hanging on for dear life. You can just see the wheel twitching as he puts on opposite lock through some of these corners just to keep that thing going straight.
I can't believe he's still driving this thing. He's sitting there like a happy dog that's wagging his tail, but he's sitting there dangling treats, trying to get the dog to behave. He's just been training this damn animal all race. Incredible drive in the Audi, and whatever the hell's going on, maybe it's the setup, maybe it's the maybe there's damage, we don't know. But he's done a really good job keeping it alive. This is also the first time I think that Rondinella and Convoy have been separated all race. So Jamie's definitely going to be feeling the loss. He's going to be looking for his friend up ahead in that god-awful leopard print Macca. And I reckon we're going to see a pretty big move from Convoy in the next lap or two, trying to get around Lim and back up to his buddy there of Rondinella as they continue to surge up the field.
Yeah, Rondinella's got a 2.2 second gap to the net. Oh, Lim's wide, very wide through turn 1. That's going to leave him slightly compromised here. There was contact there, but I think they just managed to survive. JC's got the car in front. The Audi will have a bit better of a drive, but not much you can do against the GTR once it gets off the corner. Convoy's passed, but he's going to have to set out after his mate now. I was just getting distracted there looking at what's about to come here. As Saxon Hayes is going to run very wide through Sunset. I think he's going to get on the grass.
Oh, so wide.
There. Does Lucas get by?
Oh, yeah, he gets around the outside. Saxon Hayes conceding that one. Oh,
oh my gosh. Saxon, you almost crashed twice in 2 corners there.
I can't watch, Aiden. It's just... Oh.
Yeah, that distracted me a lot watching that in the corner. Yeah. Just had a complete brain freeze. But now Daryl Lim is under attack from Luke Johnson. So Convoy and Rondinella, again, are going to be joined at the hip in the next few laps. But there's only 6 minutes to go. And Luke Johnson is looking very racy on the back of Daryl Lim, who, as you said, is basically just holding on for dear life at this point and just trying to get that Audi to the end. We'll see how it handles through Cheetah. It's
okay. He doesn't seem to be struggling with Cheetah. It's more every other turn.
Everywhere else.
Yeah, Ingwe seems to be a problem. They can't get the drive down out of it. Just stuff the race. Let's just focus on Daryl Lim surviving a lap. This is absolutely incredible.
Of his let's
get this. And braking at the 100, turns in, tips in. Great work. Steps on the gas. Oh, he's okay. No, he's got this under control. A little bit twitchy.
I wouldn't speak too soon.
Into barbecue. There we go. There we go. Opposite lock. This is good. We've got 2 cameras now, so you can see the onboard and the wagging ass of the Audi. Going now into Sunset. Surely we're going to see, drifting a little bit. Managing to, it's not too bad. Keeps it in. This one's going to be a problem child. This one, tip in. There's going to be a lot of oversteer coming out of this. Oh, wow.
But I think it's when there's a car close behind him. It's hard to look at behind and in front. So once Johnson closes right up to the back of him,
we'll come back.
See a little bit more of the sketchiness.
It's like reverse aero wash. He's experiencing getting dirty air in front of the car behind him. It's ridiculous, but. Daryl Lim, kudos to you. You've got it under control. We were picking on you. I'm sorry. But you've done a really bloody good job up until this point. You've got it all under control for the moment. We'll come back and we'll check in on you shortly. Up the front now, we've got Lucas Keys pulling away already 1.7 seconds to the car of Saxon Hayes. Raupi now sitting in 3rd. Benny Vintner having dropped off. Ralphie, though, I think is about 5 or so seconds I saw behind. Yep, 5.3 seconds behind Saxon Hayes. Benny Vincent a 0.6 behind. So we did miss that overtake. Not technically for position, but this Bentley, wow.
Yeah, it doesn't look very happy. I think I've driven the Bentley before, and if you're not careful on the tyres, it will just obliterate the rears from how much you kind of drive that thing on the slip angle. So, yeah, having a little bit of traction issues we've seen in Sector 1 there, and possibly going to be quite vulnerable. In some ways, even though they're both front engine, these cars are very much opposite. The Bentley really rotates well, especially with a decent setup, almost too well. It kind of feels like a rear engine car, and it's very slidey compared to the Porsche, which is, not the Porsche, what am I talking about? The Mustang, which is just a big brick. And it will slide on power, but it won't slide really any time else. As you can see, slide on power, there we go, down the hill by Josh Vediger, but he's still going to have a decent run in the toe, and Bentley's bottoming out all over the place. He's going to look for a move. The Mustang brake's also quite a bit better than the Bentley, as we see. He's able to just brake with the Bentley and also turn in really nicely.
So the toe is insane, yeah.
Yeah, and if he can just stay close to this Bentley going onto the main straight, or he's going to have a look in this final corner.
Into Ingray. Riding the curb, not bottoming out.
He's killed his drive by going on that curb. So he's gone for that move quite a few times this race, down the inside on Ingray, but it just kind of kills the drive on that curb. So the Bentley's able to just kind of scamper away and get a cleaner exit.
It is so tempting to do because there's so much room there based on the normal line that you apex to go through the corner. It looks like there's 2 full car lengths to the left of the car in front of you. But yeah, you just, as you said, your car, no matter what car you're driving, it pretty much bottoms out and you just get no grip and no drive out of that. So yeah, super tough, but it's such an inviting looking maneuver. Biggie Higgy, when you get a chance, mate, we'd love to see the move that Ralphie put on Vintner. It would have been, I think, a lap and a half to 2 laps ago now to send Ralphie into third. I can already see you working on your magic in the background. Thank you, good sir. But we've got this battle here forming now between Lucas Marshall and Vediger. So we'll see where this takes us. I don't think this is for too much in the way of overall championship points. I don't know if Brenno's in the chat and can correct us otherwise, but we're going to see the move here. Benny Vincent running a little bit wide up through the S's into Lukop. Got to think that the Mustang can brake late here and just go full send. Yeah, absolutely. Very, very classy move from Ralphie, getting a great amount of drive out here, but we're too wide into... No, okay. Benny Vincent is tucking behind. I'll shut up now. Thanks for watching.
It's real close between these two. I just had my second eye on that on the other monitor to see what was going on over here, and it's very close. They're going to run side by side through Cheetah. Bentley versus Ford, or Vediger
bowing out of it. That's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, the smart idea. But he was so close coming up to the top of the hills, basically pushing him. I thought we were going to see a repeat of what happened with Saxon Hayes earlier. There's a blue flag Porsche just along for the ride here, and that's Baskovis in the background, just not quite able to stay on the back of this group. And yeah, Vediger now maybe going to try set up. There's only, how many laps? There might be one more lap after this because Lucas is quite a lot further ahead than these two. So potentially this lap and one more.
Oh, it's going to be tight. Speaking of tight, we've also got a gap now, only 0.3 between the back of Rondinella and Wesley Yao. But we'll keep an eye on these two here of Vediger and Marshall. This is going to be quite interesting because I think Vediger gets a really, really good drive typically out of Lukop. So he's going to get a really good run through the S's, up into Lukop and down through Mineshaft. So that is his overtaking zone. But he's got to do so much work to get ahead of Lucas Marshall, who is excellent through every part of this track at the moment, driving the Bentley so well, taking all the right curbs, all the right lines, all the right braking markers, not missing a beat. But here we have it, getting a really good dive into Lukop there, a good run into Mineshaft, but I think that Marshall's going to have what it takes. He's definitely going to have to take an inside line to defend. And yeah, Vediger just doesn't have the room there. But the Mustang is insanely good on brakes, as you keep pointing out, and we see a tap.
Why did you say that? There is a
Not
tap.
Again!
Lucas Marshall does actually hold on to it, so maybe that might be a green flag. But yeah, he just going so deep on those brakes. And I was going to mention this as well. The Ford's tyres will be absolutely shot at this point.
Thank God there's something wrong with the Ford. Thank God there's something wrong with it.
Yeah. I think Vettiger just slightly misreading the speed of the Bentley there, giving him a tap, but Marshall was able to hold on to that massive slide, and Vettiger obviously didn't take the position as we head now onto our final lap. Going into turn 1, it's going to be a battle to the end for these two. I think Vettiger is going to know maybe there's a penalty on the way, so he's going to try get this position as fast as he can. They head through Barbecue on the run down to Sunset now as the sun is setting. That's a nice little show we've got here. Yeah, as they run through, the Ford will be pushing like mad, and that Bentley's on that slip angle. Like I said, you can just see it slightly sliding through the corner. It's really cool to watch from behind. But yeah, the Ford still just going to try get a good run through the S's, and like you said, get a good run coming up the top of the hill, or maybe down it as well, as the Ford is pretty good through here. He's going to use up maybe a track limit on the exit. Yeah, running very wide, and he's already alongside. He's going to have the outside, which is going to be very difficult. He's going to have to brake super late. The Bentley doesn't give him the space. It just gives him a nice little bump there on the apex, just runs him out of room. And I don't think Vettiger's going to be too happy with that, so we might see a retaliation here. Coming into Crocodile. The Bentley covers very defensive. The Ford is forced to go the long way round, which he might actually do here, but the Bentley will have a really good drive off the exit. It's going to be side by side coming up to Cheetah. Will Vettiger try hang it round the outside? Yeah. I reckon he's going to go for a final corner send here.
He's going to go for a...
Yep.
Standing up the inside. He's going to hit the curb again. They're going too wide. The contact into the main straight. Josh Vettiger!
Drag race between Bentley and Ford. I think the Ford's just cleared him on the... and there's the resident Bison come to watch the finish as well between these two. Awesome finish from those two drivers. There's a little bit of contact on that last race, a bit of Rubbins racing, but yeah, the Ford does manage to clear Marshall. Obviously penalties not included in that, so the results are not final as of yet, but that leaves Lucas Keys to take the win. Sorry we didn't get to look at your win, Lucas. We were a bit distracted on other things. Followed by Saxon Hayes in provisional P2 and Raupi in P3.
Speaking of, if we can actually get a quick replay, I know we're at the end of the race. I know it's not protocol, but I believe that Rondinella went around Yao on the outside of Cheetah. But while Benny Hignett is getting that up, Saxon Hayes sitting there, 15-second penalty. Benny Vinton, a 10-second penalty. There's a whole story to tell that lasted the entire duration of this race. But I believe Benny Vinton got the points to get the season win under his belt. The championship so far as we head into the finals. We're going to watch Rondinella attack the outside of Wesley Yao into Crocodile. Oh, no!
ACC. We just got ACC'd.
Just got ACC'd. We couldn't get there fast enough. So sorry, Scotty Rochford. We'll have to grab it another time, perhaps. But, mate, Squires, what a race, dude. Oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
That was good. Very entertaining. I only missed a little bit because of my fire alarm going off. And luckily it wasn't... I don't think I missed too much action. So, yeah, well done to all the drivers for finishing out this season nice and strong. The Thermaltake Sprint Series, round 6 of 6 is now completed. So you guys can all have a little holiday. I believe there's some Enduros coming up soon. But overall positions, we've got Lucas Keys taking out the win from the back. Well done to Lucas, just came through like an absolute rocket. Followed by Raupi in P2. All over the place, Raupi, this race. I think he lost some position. He qualified well, lost some positions and gained, and just kept at it and was able to pick up that P2 due to some penalties for the P3 Saxon Hayes. So still a podium for Saxon. So I reckon he'll still be pretty happy with that. And Vintner obviously taken out the championship win. So we'll head over to Silver now. We got Ben Piper winning in that Audi. So an Audi has taken the win. Breno, calm down. I can hear you celebrating from Adelaide already. Wesley Yao in P2, followed by Darryl Lim in that Audi. Did make it to the end, only just though. Pro-Am is Zach Jensen taking out the win. Pretty dominant performance from him today. Pascal Armstrong in P2. I believe Jensen also got the championship for Pro-Am, so well done to him. And Kyle Billett coming in third. Lots of Pro-Ams in this race. Going on to AM now, we have Nate James taking out the AM win, followed by Will Bowden and Jared Bryan. So, who would your driver of the day be for today?
Oh man, that's a really tough question. I think that I've got like different drivers for different parts of the race. I think that was an incredible start from Benny Vintner. I think he's my driver of the race, just courtesy of getting that class win. And I've just done the maths is happening on another screen to my left. Benny Vintner P1 for split yellow, and Lucas Keys P2. Hard to ignore the fact that Lucas Keys went cleanly from 28th to first. Incredible drive, but I still cannot get over the double overtake, squeezing through the middle, suck it in like the Harry Potter bus of Steve Lewis. So there you go. Driver of the session has to be Benny Vintner for the win, but I think that's my overtake of the night. Thermal overtake of the night. The Thermaltake Round 6 Sprint Series, that's where my head's at. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to agree. Mr. Smooth, as we've been calling him over the past few weeks, me and Davo, with how he drives, Ben Vintner. Yeah, taking out the championship, very good start, very good drive, just in general tonight. But that's going to conclude our racing for Split Yellow. So thanks to all the Split Yellow peeps, all the guys and girls for putting on a good show, and thanks to all the stewards and the commentators of the other splits, who will, I'm sure, thoroughly entertain you guys for the final round of the other splits this week. So we've got Split Green just after this coming up. Stick around, and from me and Matt in the box here, good night.
Welcome everyone for the final round of Season 23 Thermaltake Sprint Season here at Kyalami. I'm Cameron, I'm joined by Blake, and of course we've got Benny, the legend on the cameras as well. We're going to look like we've got a dry qualifying right now, but it was raining in practice, so we'll see what the race comes up. I heard rain is on the horizon. Blake, fresh out of the seat, how's things?
Yeah, I'm kind of cold, but kind of sweaty. So, you know, I don't know if people aren't in Sydney, it's kind of cold again for some reason.
It is cold.
But, yeah, no, just fresh out of race. It was pretty good. For P21, it was okay. I kind of forgot how to drive in the middle, but we ball. I do see on our next screen that there is rain on the horizon. I think it's not going to impact this qualifying session. Is that like super heavy rain?
That's medium, yeah, it's not light.
Okay. Yeah, so, and I believe if my information is correct, the race takes place 1 hour after qualifying. So I think it's definitely going to be damp to start with at the very least.
That is, definitely one to watch. And just having an eye on the chat as well. Potentially, the championship for yellow might have been decided by 1 point, a la 2007. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. Results have been imported. We'll get into any post-race penalties, but I think Lucas might have taken yellow with 1 point to go. That is outstanding stuff as well from Matt Madden and Aiden Squires as well, calling that race. It was a fantastic race to watch and split yellow as we round off this season with the final rounds. And obviously we got TT Cup coming up, the finals. That should be interesting to watch, but that's then. This is split green, and we're watching Jacob Max right now. P2 in the championship, rounding around for his first timed lap on the board. Looks like all the usual suspects are here as well. We'll see Philippa Bakita is here, obviously leading the championship right now, doing a dive better there, fortunately, than our current Australian in Formula 1, defending the championship.
We don't talk about that on stream.
Sorry, I was going to throw you properly under the bus.
Yeah, no, he's washed. Totally washed. He's like 22 and he's washed or whatever. Rashidi, though, actually, with the fastest lap thus far, quite a ways away from Jacob Maggs in P2, but I think we'll still see a little bit faster times from these guys. Now, here is someone to watch. Damiano Thircolini. I am pretty sure Damiano got his first sprint win in the rain at Kyalami like 2 seasons ago. So he might be looking to recreate this magic if it's going to be raining, but he needs to put it in a good position to start the race for the time being. So he's 8 tenths up right now as he comes into the final corner, gets it stopped, gets it pulled in. It's going up, it's going down, it's flatlining, but it's going to be a relatively nice time. Let's see it, Damiano. P8 for the time being, 7 tenths down. So I want to see a little bit more than that, Damiano. You got more than that.
Yeah, definitely more to come. He messaged me last week and so just had maybe a little bit of an off week, just wasn't finding his feet really at Suzuka, and hence why he kind of fell behind Jacob Maggs for P2 in the championship, but definitely looking to stake his claim. It'd be great if he could take the championship as well, but speaking of Jacob Maggs right now, he's looking pretty good on form as he's 7 tenths up right now, a little bit wide on the last corner, loses a little bit of time, but should be okay for a mid-40s, 40.8. So that is a very, very good lap there. I believe pole lap in split yellow was a 40.68 from Raupi as well. So we've already smashed it, of course, by Philippa Bakita. But G Babby right now, Glory Babby right there, so close as well in the Mustang.
Oh yeah, that's a stonking time from Babby. I think isn't the maximum. I have it just next to me, my friend Cameron. The alien lap time is a 39.4, so we're a little bit off that still, but we are getting pretty up there.
Yeah, we're a little bit far away from that. Not to say that any of these guys aren't alien. There's definitely a few aliens here. Definitely that kind of make their name on the world stage as well, of course, with Philippa. But see D-Magzel right now. We'll see what time he can produce. He goes up to 5th, just gets ahead of Godfrey. Great time from Godfrey as well, I have to say, in the Honda. With Jack Miller right there as well, fighting for the silver honours. Only 43 points behind Rob Underwood in the Lamborghini, who is around at this race as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's still a little bit to play for in split green, if I'm not wrong. I know as well, Philippa Bikita, we know she's quick. She's a shoe-in for P1 and the race win. However, she did not compete last season, so she's looking to just consolidate her position to get into the TT final that is happening next week. So everyone's got a little bit to play for here still.
Yeah, good point. Bringing that up as well. Top 24 between this season and last season's scorers will go through for the TT Cup final. I believe it is 24. I'm sure I'll get a stern look from Glenn if I get it wrong. But Philippa Bikita right now obviously didn't compete last season, but she is currently P26 on the board from the points up until last race. Let's say Glory Babby and a big slide on the exit there of Cheetah. Obviously that lap went the way of being negative. But he's got plenty of time to go again, and he's looking pretty good. He's already displaced Bikita as well as he goes to the pits and takes another set of tyres. We saw Raupi and Vediger in split yellow. Looks like the Mustangs do look pretty good, pretty strong around here. Definitely at least on 1 lap pace.
Yeah, definitely. It's an interesting track. I think it's one of those ones that really brings out the differences in the GT3 machinery with some of its twistier sections, but a few not long straights, but long enough that some of the more straight line oriented cars can stretch their legs just a little bit. I think from memory, the highest box cars are the McLaren and the Aston, which in itself is interesting. Obviously, one rear-engined, mid-engined and one front-engined. I think the Fez is one that's actually just straight flat, so I guess it is the benchmark car around here. And I know the Nissan and the Bentley getting 16 kilos there or thereabouts shedded from their chassis. So
crazy that GTR loses kilos here.
Yeah, I don't know if it necessarily. I don't think it seems like a lot.
Someone told me a pack of lies. Someone said it got plus 40.
No. I mean, unless it was wrong, but that's what it was in the race.
Who knows? Who knows? Numbers numbered.
So Gia Coleman also one to watch, I believe. He is in a bit of a battle with Damiano for P3 in the pro/overall standings. Oof. As I think that's Babby just gets out of the way there. Hopefully, Giacomo's time still looking pretty good, so I don't think there was any impeding there. But he's going to send it across Cheetah, get all the way out on the curb, get back to the other side, put the anchors down. And the time, it's coming to him. It's about the same. It's going to be about 4/10. That's going to put him up to about P5, P6. Ooh, not quite. 300ths behind Godfrey.
Yeah, definitely on the cards as Philippa goes up to a 40.47. And it secures a little bit more of a lead over Babby, but 1/10 in it is definitely far from secure. We'll see what she can produce on the time for 2 more time laps as well. Should be interesting to see how they go. Philippa obviously very much on form as well. Hard to call the Mercedes these days. It is a very quick car in certain conditions and in certain hands as well. Hard to say where Kyalami fits in all of that. She's got, I believe, Glory Babby just up ahead, if I want to call that correctly, in the Mustang. So hopefully shouldn't be catching this car too much over the lap. We'll see how those two present, because, yeah, we saw, obviously, Raupi kind of got very mugged off the start car on the left there. That's well out of the way. That shouldn't distract him for this corner. Goes left and right. But yeah, Philippa doing an excellent job as always, running out wide as much as he can, trying to carry as much speed. Not necessarily scrubbing or losing any time right now. Get it stopped now for the top of the hill at Lukop. And then the long run down there, this awkward kind of traction zone I find in lots of lots of cars. Sometimes it's scrabbling for traction, sometimes it kind of understeers, sometimes it doesn't want to bite. But it run down to the hill. And speaking of awkward braking as well, now is this long right-hander, not necessarily long right-hander, but what kind of awkward entry. A little bit squirrely on the exit there. I'm not sure this lap is going the way of Philippa would have liked.
Yeah, it's really on the nice edge. She's lost a bit here and there, but I think she's just pulling out of this one here. Yeah, it's definitely getting away from her now. Well, she's letting it get away from her. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, gonna have to try and line another one up. Just making a little bit of space. But yeah, just looking at Godfrey here, up on the Delta as well. This is pretty tasty. This is gonna be P5 if we can keep this up.
Yeah, definitely looking very strong right now with that much delta in hand as well as his current position. He was quite early on the pace as well. Like one of his first few laps, he was right up there into the mid-10s. And currently holding down P7, Jack Miller is boxed, so he's not going out again. He'll consolidate 6th place at best, depending any post-qualifying penalties. Mangzel as well, they're just there, so definitely at least a couple of positions to gain, potentially up into P5. Might be able to get close to Ricciuti as well. Good run through Cheetah, very wide on the exit though. Kind of scrubbed a little bit of time while he did carry his speed. And the run through the final corner at Ingwe, and very wide on the exit there. Gained time though overall from his previous, not the best form, but goes right up to P3 from Brad Godfrey. That's an impeccable lap as Damiano Fercolini goes up to P8.
Yeah, holy moly, just a really big send through that last corner. It was very scrappy on the exit, but it was enough to get Godfrey onto the podium provisionally for this qualifying session. That was fantastic. Just jumping back on with the Sofa King slow Ferrari here, Stefano Ricciuti. We'll see what Stefano's got in his bag. This is going to be close. This is close to pole, Cameron. This is close to pole.
Oh, it's looking good. He's got 4/10 in hand. Will the delta lie? 3 6/10 to get. And he crosses along the line. He displaces Bakita by half a 10 and goes along. But Bakita's got 4/10 in hand. What will the delta say? And she goes back up to the top. Who knows? I'm completely lost for words.
Jeez, that was like scoring a bucket on Michael Jordan, and then he steals the ball from you and then dunks on you. It was such a good lap by Stefano Ricciuti. But we jump back to Bakita, and she's 4/10 up. Good 3/10, 3/10 up from the rest of the field. Take a bow, Philippa.
Doing a great job to scramble my brain. And yes, we know there was rain on the horizon, and it looks like rain has arrived. I'm not seeing raindrops, but I'm seeing a very wet circuit, that's for sure, as there was a medium shower, I believe, just before the race. It is a wet track, but low rain on the horizon for the next 30 minutes. 21 ambient and 26 track as well, so fair conditions with about 30 cars. Will we see this track dry up with no rain coming down? It should be very interesting, Blake, but it is going to be Bakita ahead of Stefano Ricciuti, ahead of Glory Babby as well, with Brad Godfrey. Shout out, the king of qualifying. Shout out qualifying to Brad Godfrey.
Yeah, fantastic qualifying there from Godfrey, just head and shoulders above his silver brethren for this race. I do think this is going to present an interesting decision to make here. I mean, I think with no rain on the horizon, you're probably picking slicks, but it's going to be a pretty dicey start here. And I think whoever can manage that the best can find themselves up a few positions. Definitely early days in this race.
Yep, should be very interesting to see. Shout out to Mangzel as well, Jack Miller there, the other 2 silver runners, and Damiano and John Hislop as well. Shout out to John Hislop. Apparently he was stewarding for Split Yellow and decided last minute he's actually going to race Split Green. So it should be interesting to see how he goes. Really, that is Mike Crick there in the GTR, and Barker as well in the black and red Milwaukee 296. Rob Underwood there, kind of the silver leader on the points, but a little bit further back than he'd probably like. And I'm not too sure whether wet is the going to be something that he's going to enjoy. We heard from some of the other drivers, obviously the Mustang, some people in the chat, like obviously Aiden Squires, Mustang, aficionado. Wet is not necessarily something the Mustang is going to necessarily enjoy. But we'll see how these guys develop in the race. But it should be going. What's your predictions?
Well, I was just doing a little bit of reconnaissance on our championship standings. I'll get into that in a second, but I think some of these more high downforce cars are going to have a better time to start out with. I think if there's a time to strike against Bakita, it's now in that big Merc. I don't remember how good it is, but I don't feel like it's fantastic, and I'm pretty sure the Ferrari is pretty nice in the wet. So if Stefano wants to get something done and get ahead of Bakita here, this is a good opportunity to do so. So I'm going to bank on either like Stefano or Glory looking to make a pretty aggressive move going down into T1.
Yeah, that is a pretty safe bet. Ferrari, definitely very, very strong in the wet as well. Mercedes, I believe, can be. Wet tyres, looking at no yellow markings. Yellow markings there for Glory Babby. I'm not sure that's an error. Godfrey as well. But yeah, shout out to yellow markings. Weird thing that they updated when they did their small update last week. For some reason, they updated the Pirelli sidewall textures. They're actually quite easier to tell the difference now if they're running dry tires rather than the slicks, so rather than the wets. So that actually makes it. You can see the yellow markings spinning around it. But I'm going to say the Mercedes, I think, in the right hands, can be a good car in the wet if you can handle this sort of weird pitch sensitivity it has on the rear and the weight transfer. I think you're A-okay. You got that torque as well to put down. It's actually, it's a pretty good car on traction generally and power, so which is everything you want in the wet, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone that can make it work, I'm sure Pip can do it. But I do think it's going to be pretty nice. So for a bit of a championship round out here for this season, this isn't particularly for the finals. Big shout out to Breno Ellis for doing a write-up for us here on the commentary team. It's very, very helpful, and I appreciate it a lot. So in the Pro Championship, Bakita is leading by 37 points over Mags. So I think, if she finishes strongly, she should be pretty fine. Mags is also 45 points ahead of Daviano. So again, if he finishes, relatively ahead or around Damiano, he should be fine. But Damiano is relatively close to Giacomin is close to Damiano behind. I believe it's only about 24 points. So that's definitely one to watch out for. Giacomin actually as well, 6 on the grid right now versus Thurcolini. So definitely one to keep an eye out as this race progresses. In silver, Rob Underwood is 43 points ahead of P2, which is Miller. So that's relatively safe. But I do see Underwood is a bit further down the grid than Miller, so definitely want to watch out for. P2 is Miller, sorry, and then P3 is pretty spicy. But we might get back to this in a minute because we're about to start, so I'll let you take this away, Cameron.
Yep, so it will be Bakita ahead of Ricciuti. We believe they are on wet tyres. Glory Babby on dries. It is a late start. Watch that Penrite Mustang because I think it's going to fall down quite a bit. But we're waiting for the red lights. And it'll be green any second now for the final round of split green as a good start there from Bakita. But Godfrey there, an amazing start on the Honda as he looks to go for the middle. But I think he'll back out of it as the Mustang comes on late on the dry tyres as well. That's pretty good. I hope it's not spectator bird, but Gia coming around the outside of Godfrey as well. Ricciuti around the outside of Bakita. Also close between the two leaders right now, but they get through safely through turn 4 as the rest of the field are looking A-okay so far. I feel a little bit of a spread out. But Gia coming right there alongside as well. Glory Babby in the Mustang running down to Sunset with the red Ferrari definitely going to have the easier line on the apex and potentially on the right tyre as well as Jacob Maggs also looking to displace the Mustang. Yeah, I think there's a confirmation Glory is on those dry tyres. He's just scrabbling for grip right there. Let's see the Kmart Ferrari as well, getting alongside, getting better runs. He's going to go up the inside, potentially into the S's at an awkward point. And there is a touch as the Mustang goes sideways, and he does an excellent job to collect it as Jack Miller looking around the outside. Damiano Fercolini gets through as well with Maxwell in the BMW right behind as well as Jack Miller up the inside, coming into Le Cop and getting it stopped nice and safely, potentially on the apex. Does a great job, and the BMW goes through as well. Mike Crick looking to capitalize. Is this the right call? There's almost 10 positions down for the Ford Mustang or Glory Babby. Apologies, not for 10 positions, but at this rate, potentially by the end of the lap, as Godfrey goes wide as well. Is he on the slicks too? As he understeers straight off the track at the end of the hill there into the crocodiles. But, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, I think this is probably feeling pretty bad for Glory Babby right now, but you got to stick this out. I think it should come back to him by the end of the race, but right now he's just going to get eaten up by all these people that decided to take wet tyres. And it's actually more of the grid than I would have thought. I personally, I said it before the race, I would have taken slicks, but see how it goes. I guess it's 5 p.m. I don't know. It's hard. It's so hard to say. I mean, you guys saw me at Spa in the duos a couple of weeks ago. That was not my best strategy call.
Yeah, it's Hero 0 pretty much, and yeah, very few slick runners. Oh, I think a few cars going sideways. I saw a wing just fly off to the left-hand side. No, it's not part of the track. There is Glory Babby as well, I believe. Going wider, Stills. Car 14 is yellowed there at turn 5 at Barbecue. That's Jacob Magna on the back. It is, you know, I gotta say, I think it's just a bit too wet. Ooh, a little bit sideways there. Would he get a touch from the BMW, did Jacob Maggs, or where was it just a bit of rear locking? But frankly, they both lived to, you know, drive another day as they come now through the S's as well. Jacob Maggs there looking a-okay. I think, yeah, he is on the wet tires, looking okay. So just maybe finding his feet a little bit. As Jack Miller really putting pressure now on Damiano Fercolini into the top of their hill. And I'm sure Damian will try and find his feet. Obviously, had a victory here many years ago, many seasons ago, in the Porsche in the wet. As we get a replay now, thank you very much to Ben. So it's Ben Barker. This car actually got a 2-place penalty from qualifying. Goes up the inside, slams into the Penrite Mustang. Awkward to tell from that angle, but definitely not what both of those drivers needed at all.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky to tell from that angle, but yeah. I think Barker obviously coming out a lot worse from that situation, but Babby's just going to get his head down and keep going. For now, find himself a P10. I do want to say big shout out to Damiano, big mover and shaker. He's closed that gap up to Giacomin, so his position in the championship should be relatively safe. But yeah, jumping up from P8 all the way up to P4, really great stuff for Damiano.
I was starting to see a little bit of the dry line starting to form very slightly. It's not necessarily a dry line, it's just starting to displace some of the track, because the track was actually quite wet at the start. I think we kind of undersold that, which hence why I think why a lot of these guys went with the wet tires. And you saw, obviously, granted, Glory Babby's had a few incidents on top of his tire choice, but he has fallen back a long way. Has he fallen back enough for a pit stop? It is a long pit stop. It's at least 50 seconds if you have to take 30 seconds to change tires, and depending on the transit time, which I think is between at least, it's definitely no lower than 20 seconds and probably potentially towards the 30 around here. But tricky to say, and at this rate, you know, he's only going to be losing more and more time to Bakita. I wonder what these guys did. A lot of these drivers did on setups. Potentially you're stuck with a dry setup. It is, you know, it's, to be honest, it's not actually raining. So I think a dry setup would have been fair with just the wet tires for this round, and the track has already switched to damp state as well. So it is going to quickly dry up. Those the wet tires are going to slowly start to get warmer and warmer. We're going to see drivers looking for the wet patches at the side of the tracks on the straights. Definitely curves are still quite slippy, even for those on the wet Pirellis.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be very, very interesting as these guys are side by side. There's a bit of a touch there through Crocodiles, and they almost look like they're going to come together again. And Crick's looking to get in on this action. Oh, Manxell's just understeering. Through goes Cricky. And Manxell just understeering and taking them both way off the line. And Cricky says, "Thank you very much."
Yeah, there was a little bit of argy-bargy at the corner before at Crocodiles. And I wonder if there was a little bit of, kind of frustration between the two drivers. And I did think the BMW kind of definitely took them both wide at Cheetah as well. Wondering if this will be a penalty for that. Mags, obviously, looking to secure his P2 in the championship right now. Not looking too hot right at this rate. Potentially with Fercolini right up there in P4 and obviously third in the championship as well.
Yeah, did you see Mags also just getting a penalty? I'm gonna just looking to see what that's about. I don't think we saw quite what happened there, but that's gonna flip his race on its head.
Apologies, I completely missed that. I think I heard the race bot come up as well. I was just too invoked. But we get a replay now of the start of Luca Giacomin in the red Ferrari going around the outside as well. It is kind of a lot of these drivers tend to get stopped, and it's so late on the braking there from Giacomin. Excellent stuff. I believe the Honda was on the slicks, but also the slick shot Mustang there on the left did a good job to avoid that as well. Space Gibbon, it got so close between Bakita and Machudi as well, as Giacomin goes around, holds it around the outside of the Mustang, granted on the correct tires for the Ferrari, and gets a run up the inside as well for the next corner, where the Mustang definitely drops, and you can see I think it lost to Mags almost on this track. You can see, yeah, it's just, he's out wide, he's just struggling, he's wet tire, slick tires on a wet track, absolutely no hope around Sunset.
Yeah, definitely. Just looking through, it was a 10-second penalty for Mags for causing a collision on lap 1. We did also see a 5-second penalty for car 51, which is Ferrugia. Obviously, you can see that on screen, but we'll see if we might get a replay of some of that stuff. But settling down a little bit now, everyone's getting in their rhythm. I think Bakita in a serious rhythm is 7 seconds ahead. And I did just notice Giacomo's actually pipped Rashuti for P2 as it stands.
Yes, as well. Good catch as well. As seen now, Rashuti just goes maybe a little bit wide. Oh, caught the slip. Oh, that's huge damage. That's huge for Rashuti. Surely that car's going to have to box soon. Oh dear, that's almost a race under for Rashuti. I think they might be staying out just to get to the slick period, because I think we are going to see it go dry enough 4 slicks at this rate.
Yeah, that would explain Giacomo ahead of Rashuti. That was an absolutely massive.
If you look closely, it was a small mistake in there.
As Damiano would say, you could fit a chicken under that bonnet for sure. I had to get one in. I had to get one in for my guy.
Absolutely. If he could listen to the broadcast, maybe he is listening to the broadcast. He looks at the inside, potentially trying to just send it, but just kind of maybe even defending almost from Jack Miller there. So we're seeing a replay now. Of course, yes, I forgot about the contact between Glory Babby and the Jacob Maggs. Ferrari, forgot about that one, which hence why he has a 10-second penalty. Thank you very much, Ben, as well. All sorts have happened so far. Very been great, easy to forget. And yeah, I have to point out as well, Glory Babby, while he has had a bad start, he is a long way behind. I think he is still very much in the window. If even Bakita is to box for slicks right now, it is a very long stop, and they're not that far behind, despite how badly the race start has gone.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really, really interesting. I think Babby's either going to be a hero or an absolute zero. And for now, we can't tell. Rashuti carrying on with a very sad-looking Ferrari. I think, as you said, might just look to go until slicks are the better option, and then maybe repair a little bit of that damage. But we'll see. Just riding on board of the hood of Mike Crick, who's following along in this pack. A bit of a mix of classes here, but the pace is good between them all. For the moment, we did also just see a 5-second penalty coming through for car number 4, Clark, a bit further down. That was on lap 2. We might get eyes on that, we might not, but Miller is really, really sizing up Rashuti here, obviously carrying a lot of damage. A lot of aero damage in that Ferrari is definitely not helping. Miller having a little bit of a look to the inside. He's making himself very, very known in Rashuti's mirrors right now. He's going to try and take it on the inside up into Luke Hop. Rashuti takes the relatively normal line. I don't know if he wants to fight it too hard, but Miller, it's not quite there. The Ferrari a little bit better on the brakes, and he's going to have to look somewhere else. Maybe down into Crocodiles, down through Mineshaft, I think.
Potentially, as he runs down through Mineshaft as well, and like you said, into Crocodiles, looks to the inside now, and he gets it late on the brakes. Looks like he's pulled alongside the Ferrari. Rashuti sees him coming, gets a stop on the apex as well, and have the inside now for Cheetah. Might fall like a little bit from the Ferrari, but we'll have the inside line as Rashuti holds it around the outside, but goes wide as well, with the damage not helping all of that case as well. It's Damiano now. We're watching the rear camera, looking at Mike Crick as Rashuti falls back behind the GTR and potentially under the threat from Maxwell in the BMW. But Cricky now up into P5 as well. Amazing job by all these guys. But yeah, I think Rashuti, I think he's being helped a little bit by the wet conditions, because obviously not from his contact, but the aero doesn't make an effect. But rain in 30, is this what we missed as commentators? What we couldn't see? Because the ACC weather gadget, the people who have the knowledge knew rain was coming back, because they're going to say we're looking pretty on course for slicks at the moment, but rain is coming back, it seems.
Glory Babby, I am so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. That is not what you want to see if you're on slicks right now. That's heartbreaking. But for everyone else, yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with ACC Drive. I don't know if it shows you further in advance than the game does. So maybe everyone had that information.
I think that's how it's exactly what you think it is.
So maybe Babby didn't have that information, because as like me not having that information, I made the same deduction that he did, as we just see Rad and Ferrugia here going into Barbecue. and just not quite enough room given, and Rad unfortunately losing out on that occasion.
Yeah, it looks like the smallest of taps, and then both cars went around, and even a half spin. I believe that was Perugia as well. Was it Perugia? Yeah, it was the 51 car, the mellow yellow car. And getting alongside. Oh, is that Jacob Maggs in the background has completely gone off the track at the top of the screen there. I was going to say, as the BMW and GTR are fighting, Cricky goes wide. He's going to go into the pits. Cricky, what are you going to do with rain coming back potentially? It looks to be light rain. Jack Miller also in. All these guys are coming back. I'm a little bit perplexed.
Yeah, what's going on? What have we? I think those guys are on wets. What are they?
Yeah.
I'm actually befuddled. But there's like 4 of them in the top 10.
Max, Siam as well, coming into the pits right now. I really hope these guys aren't going to slicks. Granted, the track has gone greasy, but if rain is coming back in 30, surely you would persist. Granted, 30 minutes is a long time, and who knows? Oh, Mags got in the inside curb, and he just got a little bit of slide on, and absolutely skates his way down the guardrail as well, but not in the on the board fashion.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Aiden pointing out, like, it is probably about 25 minutes away from rain. Track's greasy as it stands. Yeah, look, you see rain on the radar and you go, oh my god, I need wet tires on, but it's a fair point to make. So, personally, if I was on the wets, I would be definitely trying to persevere, though. I don't see the need to come in, but obviously the others they have a different opinion, and we'll see how that goes.
Should be interesting to see. Granted, we haven't, it is still greasy, it's still damp. The conditions are not exactly cold, they're not exactly super hot either. There is potential for the wets to kind of get very, very hot in these conditions. We don't really have any tire temp feedback, but potentially anyone in chat could have a peek into one of the drivers if they are streaming, see what pressures they're up to on the wets right now, because surely they must be getting potentially up into the, I want to say mid 30s, because obviously 30 psi is kind of where you want the tires to be in their best window. If they start burning up on this dry part, and still rain is 25, 30 minutes away, are you going to have any wet tires left by the time that rain comes back?
Yeah, I guess as well, if they're very, very grained, Gallagher is jumping into the pits. If they're very grained and worn, they're not as effective the second time around. But yeah, we see a few more people coming in. Clark, Ferrugia, Gallagher. Very, very interesting here. Babby, a bit of a winner throughout this, a bit further back up the grid now, and his tyres probably doing pretty nice. Rob Underwood as well, a fair bit further up. He's actually, because Miller's pitted, he's looking a lot nicer to maintain that silver championship too.
I was gonna say as well, someone in chat as well was saying, like, if Miller was, because Miller went up to P3 after all that happening with current other drivers with Ricciuti, he was looking P3, and I think he was set to take the silver crown. So interesting that he obviously boxed to go slicks. I don't know, like, if any of these drivers may be short fueled as well, because they saw it potentially could dry out, but then they started on wet tires. So it's so hard to call, but he is out there on slicks right now, and I think slicks are probably the tire to be on, getting closer right now than the wets. But will the wets lose out enough in this next? It's got to be at least 20 minutes away right now. But Philippa Bakita's in. This is the one we want to watch right now, as she is potentially going to go to slicks as well. I can't think of what other reason she'd be in for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue against Philippa Bakita. That's definitely, you put a bookmark there. So very, very interesting. So, well, Babby's winning right now. He needs to make hay while he's on these slicks, and not needing to pit. Damiano soldiering on those wet tires. Giacomin the same. So this is really, really interesting.
I think, while we thought this might be commiserations for Glory Babby, I think with the turn that, the wet tire starters are now having to go to slicks, because I think they've got no real wet tires left potentially towards the end there, and they're going to lose out. The time lost per lap is going to undo the pit stop potentially. granted, you know, there's still, I think Giacomin's still out on the wets. Do you hold it out on wets and have track position? Because not necessarily for track position for defending, but, you know, if you're going to box now, like Philippa has, you're going to go out into a lot of traffic. Granted, you've got the pace over some of these other cars, but, you know, it is room potentially to be caught up in someone else's accident or cause an accident yourself. So it's so hard to call, but yeah, wets are there. Slicks are there for Philippa Bikita. As I said, there's a newly enlarged yellow Pirelli markings, making it very easy to tell.
Yeah, for sure. And I think as well, it's going to be pretty dangerous to have people sort of running around on different time compounds. Not optimal for the current track, and some old. It's going to lead to probably more incidents, I would say, as well. Yeah, some of these fast drivers mixed throughout the fields obviously can create a few situations.
Will be very interesting to tell right now as we're on board with Philippa Bikita behind John Red and Oliver. There's quite a lot of drivers in the middle of the field. There's a slick shot for John Red ahead. Yeah, Philippa just penalty. She's looking to potentially get into the final. She is P26 overall standings, just 2 positions behind. Obviously, Penning is a lot of drivers that are ahead of her that still yet to run their splits as well. That hasn't been updated from split yellows. But I think she is looking pretty good, being this close and potentially, can score a big chunk of points. But it's not over until the checker flag flies. You're coming now into turn 1, or not really turn 1 because the kink in the straight counts it, but we don't care. But John is on the back of Rob Underwood right now.
Yeah, I definitely don't care about that kink on the straight. That is just unbelievably not a corner. I do think, just touching on before these guys really get into it, Bishop and Busk and Oliver are ones to watch out for P3 in silver. Those guys fighting. So yeah, Bishop and Oliver next to each other right now. I still don't. Bishop, ignore the red. Bishop is in silver class. Something's gone on with the systems in the background, but yeah. So those guys, I believe, who are we looking for? Miller as P2 currently. Miller fairways down, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Giacomin in, so nearly all of our wet tire runners are throwing in the towel here. Damiano holding strong, waving that flag of those wet tires.
Be very interested to see how they go. Like, would you just stay out completely just to try and get to when the rain comes back? Well, you have time. It is up to medium rain now on the 30-minute delta, so there is a substantial amount of rain that is pretty confirmed. It's not just this light shower that we could maybe just drive through. Glory Babby, you can see like how much time, despite how bad their first lap was, is pretty much only a few seconds behind now. 5 seconds behind Damiano Fercolini overall with those slick tires. I think actually, wow, yeah, I said it before, Babby looked like their race went from bad to worse, but actually it's actually come back to them. And they're on the favorite. They're actually in the favorite, I think, to win this race, because they'll just switch to the wet tires come when the rain arrives, and they'll have fresh tires, along with obviously everyone else will. But they're way ahead of everyone else on track who's had to box off the wets onto the slicks.
Yeah, Babby. I think Babby is sitting very pretty right now. I will say Bikita absolutely knifing her way through this field. She's gotten through about 3 cars in the span of a lap and a half, if that. So she's everyone not presenting too much trouble. But for now, Bishop, the next target on her list.
Yeah, definitely potentially on. Already displaced Oliver and Rad in fair succession. And we're seeing now, obviously, Ferrugia on the Ricciuti quickly takes that away as being the fastest on track. So, it's all to play for. Oh, also close, and it spins around as Bishop goes round from Bikita. Oh, what could that spell for Bikita's race and potentially championship implications? Oh, my goodness.
Ben's very excited to get on the replay here, as we do see coming into Lucock. Bikita just with a lot more traction, just touches. Just
Bishop
touches.
Was wide. He was struggling out there, but I don't think he did anything wrong in that one. He was,
no.
It's on the car behind, and I think Bikita unless Bishop hasn't called their number, potentially, which I can't imagine.
Yeah, I think that's an unfortunate one. It's one of those things that happens when...
Jack Miller yellowed. Silver implications. It's all happening right now. And an utterly destroyed front end for the McLaren. The P2 in the Silver Championship. With potentially another car. I believe that is the Porsche there of Gamble, as Damien are properly on the threat now from the Glory Babby, the slick shot and runner from the start. The man who got it right.
Babby must be feeling so good right now. It must be. It's Babby's world, and we're living in it.
Yeah, planned or unplanned, it is right tires for the track. Brakes so much later as Damiano Astor's brakes so much earlier as it pretty much is dry right now. Completely around the outside from the Ford. Not even in a different ballpark right now. And oh my goodness, Glory Babby is looking A-OK, right on track right now. And it's looking probably good. I would love to know his thoughts from the middle part. Middle way through the first lap, we see now as Jack Miller gets it also wrong on the brakes. Oh, but gets it stopped. So I think it's a run down to Crocodiles right now as they fight along with Mike Crick as well, who did box as well. So it is a big freeway fight. The GT on the outside of the Porsche with the V8 McLaren just behind. Cricky gets out of it, and it's a touch before we even get to Crocodiles through Mineshaft, and they both find the guardrail so hard. And there's a saving grace there from Mike Crick in the GTR. Gets away with it. Through goes Cricky once again.
Ouch. That was rough. I think Miller it's a bit of a McLaren brakes thing, particularly against the Porsche. McLaren brakes are not fantastic, to say the least. Just a little bit late, and then they sort of just they escorted each other over to the wall, and massive damage there for Miller. So, yeah, big implications there. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough for P3 to leapfrog, but we'll see that as we continue on. Rob Underwood, though, looking pretty nice right now. Is Rob one of the ours that is continuing on the wet tires? I think he might be.
Potentially, yes. And oh my god, it's so hard to call right now. He did start a bit back towards P10 right now. I'm seeing on the other screen. Yeah, he has run the slick shot, so he actually potentially started on slicks. I'm not too sure. So much has happened right now. It's hard to keep track of where everyone started and where everyone stopped. But I think he potentially did start on the slicks at the start of the race. Hence why he's still got he's got track position right now as he got the slick tie up the inside as John Hislop then Spencer. What are we doing? We're commentating curse everyone. Every time we look at is us touch. But unfortunately there, Rob Underwood now goes around and gets going again. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Blake, what are we gonna do?
That was so close. I feel like Hislop almost turned out of it, tried to turn out of it at the last second, but
Shut
actually
the cameras
made it
off.
worse.
We're just gonna ruin everyone's race. Don't look at him. Don't look at Glory Babby.
Don't look at Glory. So Daviano throwing in the towel, having to concede, and I think there's the problem is with Damiano is that he's waited quite a while, and he's not gotten the most out of the slick tires. I think I respect it, but he's probably hurt his own race in the long run.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, and I think. Oh, I don't know. I'm still flummoxed from the contact before at the top of the hill as we go down to Andy Bishop. But yeah, definitely he's missed out. He's overall lost. But we'll see how this race goes. We're not even halfway through this race right now, as we've got 34 minutes to go. And what will the rain bring? It has still not reached the 10-minute mark. It's still probably about 15-20 minutes away still, potentially. But looks like it is going to be a big old rain shower. Definitely going to be requiring some wet tires towards the end of the race. And whatever happens right now, forget that whole standings on the left. That could completely change for now between the end of the race. 10 kilometers an hour wind. The rain could arrive at any minute right now. It is definitely arriving fast and furious here at Kyalami. There's Luke Marvel. Shout out to Luke Marvel. I think another slick shot starter in the BMW from quite a way back is getting through the field and obviously up to P5 right now, looking good to take on those wets when the rain comes.
Yeah, definitely. We've got it's really funny, a race like this. We've got a Pro-Am in second place, and then Marvel, I believe, is a rookie this season, Oh no! Oh jeez, not too much there, but a big slide there for Bishop, and I think Godfrey just having a look at the inside, but the car was always going to kind of come back across with that engine pendulum effect. But for now, Bakita sizing up Marvel. Marvel, as I said, sorry, a rookie this season, moved up to Pro-Am. Bakita's going to have a look down the inside. Marvel's not going to fight this one too hard.
Yeah, smart stuff there from Marvel as well. I think Bakita was close enough that she was going to send it to the inside, and Marvel didn't defend. Definitely not really fighting Bakita right now. Granted, his slicks are not going to be as fresh as Bakita's. I've got Rob Underwood underway. I can't imagine Rob Underwood will fight Bakita very much, knowing his championship is still on the line. Despite that contact, he is still, I think, ready to take it away to retain his lead and win the championship from Jack Miller, despite the highs that Jack Miller got up to earlier in this race. He is, again, where is Miller? I think we completely lost Miller, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Rob really just needs to finish, and he's fine. He already has a substantial lead. I don't even think he necessarily needs to finish, but we're going to get a replay here, and I think this could be sad Damiano things, unfortunately. And oh no, Cheetah takes its first victim. Damiano doing a good job to keep it pointing in the right direction, and no walls found, but it's not what you need.
Bakita up the inside of Rob Underwood, gets into the apex. I think that was all fair game, and the Mercedes gets a run through to Cheetah as well, so no troubles so far. As Bakita with a 15-second penalty, I think, for that contact that we saw earlier. I've already forgotten who it was, but yeah, that contact at the top of the hill. Do you remember who it was? Because there's been so much happening.
I believe it was Bishop in that blue McLaren. Yeah. We also see Hislop getting that 15-second invoice for the tap around on Underwood in the same place. So, Underwood didn't actually really need to fight that. If he can try and stay within 15 seconds of both of them, he'll be looking pretty, but he is a good 7 seconds behind Hislop as it stands.
Point in chat as well from Samwise Holmes, and saying that Ferkelin decided to give up very late as well, like on the tires. I think he wanted to pull it out, but I will say, like, I've tried to hold it out. Well, to be fair, I held it out on wet tires on a completely dry track because there was only a few minutes left of the race, but they get up to like that 40 psi range, and it does feel like they feel worse than slicks on a wet track.
Yeah, definitely. I think we should. Yeah, so the rain's just come into the 10-minute window, so it should be getting.
Plus.
So rain is going to start with 20 minutes to go, and yeah, that would have been too long to hold out on those wet tires from the start of the race. So I think people were definitely making that right call when we questioned them earlier. But I think Glory Babby is still really, really in the driver's seat of this race. He's only going to have to have pitted once. Oh, Godfrey just getting a little bit of that grass makes me ever so nervous in the Honda as Bishop's sizing up a little bit of a move here, potentially into Crocodiles. Going to look down the inside. Rad just covering it off, but I think Bishop's going to have to look behind because Godfrey's looking very, very quick right now. As they're going to come up towards Cheetah, line astern. Cheetah claims no victims this time. Bishop having a bit of a look on the inside, coming down the mirrors. Godfrey actually getting door-to-door around the outside, but it's a long way around. He's going to have to tuck under the wing for the time being. Don't look now. Noah Reinhardt is getting up in this business too.
Yeah. Shout out to McLeod, who I think started towards the back of the grid. P2 right now in the Pro-Am car as Andy Bishop defends from Godfrey around the outside. Godfrey, I'm not sure if those are still the same slicks that he started the race on, but he fell to the back of the grid and now already starting to get back close to the top 10, or well in the top 10 as well, from his highs of qualifying, where he qualified, I believe, P4. But qualifying's completely been thrown in the bin from this race with all sorts of going on. As I believe this is Giacomo very wide on Cheetah and gets a squirrely and does an amazing save on the tank slapper for Giacomo. And I completely forgot about the red Ferrari as Bishop around the inside, but he's got Godfrey around the outside. There's potentially a move from Godfrey all the way around the outside now of Clubhouse. That's an excellent done as Giacomo goes to the inside of Andy Bishop into the S's as well to make 2 positions down for the blue McLaren.
Do you want to know where McLeod started this race?
I feel like I swear I remember seeing that car. I think it was second last.
I'm not sure how many cars we have, so I can't confirm second last or not, but he started in 23rd. 23rd. That is absolutely absurd. We'll see
amazing.
where he can finish it. There's still about half a race to go, but that has to feel so good.
He's got John Hislop right behind him. We'll try not to curse Hislop into another car again. And Bakita just behind. I wouldn't fight those two cars behind because they do have penalties as well. We'll see what happens to the end of the race. I was going to say, completely forgetting Bakita had a penalty. The rate that Bakita is, I think, the fastest car on track, obviously, with the purples, potentially could catch Babby. I think Babby is 20 seconds ahead, but 15-second penalty to serve as well. It is looking very, very good for Glory Babby. And Rob Underwood as well, potentially.
Yeah, just noticed the rain has disappeared off the 30-minute mark, but it's a bit of a send here for Giacomin down the inside through Barbecue. I guess it's done pretty cleanly. I don't think Godfrey fought that too hard, but he's actually got a little bit of overspeed here. He's going to pull alongside, but thinks a bit better of it. Lets Giacomin go as they go through Sunset. The rain's disappeared off the radar, but it doesn't really matter too much for us.
The end of the race by then, anyway.
Yes, it's going to be raining for the last 20 minutes of this race, definitely, and it's going to be relatively heavy.
Looks like it is going to be light to start off, though, as you can see on the time board. I think that will quickly change. It is quite variable. Variable, the name of the game. Obviously, coming into this round, we always knew split yellow kind of threw us a threw us a bit of a false header with being completely dry, as Bakita is catching Hislop ever so quickly as well right there, and there'll be a close fight between these three for P2, but if I was the Lamborghini, I wouldn't fight either one of these cars right now with the penalties on the board, and going very good for Bakita as well. Potentially, wishful thinking, 25 minutes to go with 2 Lamborghinis on the podium. Who'd have thought? Not even pro Lamborghinis.
Yeah, that's...
Underwood to pro, I think, if he takes out the silver championship, I have to say.
I mean, yeah, probably. I do think as well, I'm going to put it out there, as God, Bakita's getting very, very close. I don't actually hold that thought. Do a little bit of lawn mowing. She's going to be side by side as they come down to Sunset. She's got the priority line. It's express, and yep, it's sent. There you go. Next day shipping.
Yeah, and smart as well from Hislop as well. He's a smart cookie. Didn't fight that at all. Just absolutely got so much better run through Barbecue and just had the straight run down to Sunset as well in the AMG. She is properly on pace right now. Maybe a little bit annoyed at herself because that contact with Annie Bishop. It was a little bit kind of unfortunate, but it was on the the driver behind that made the contact, and definitely driving with a mission to definitely at least get. I think a podium still on the cards for Bakita, and who knows what the wet will kind of entail. As it sends up the inside now of McLeod. McLeod didn't fight that at all one day. Go through, you are not in my battle at all.
Yeah, I don't think McLeod needs to fight either of these. Particularly, I probably wouldn't really bother. Just take the line.
Great pace.
Yeah, no, the pace is good from McLeod for sure, but it's going to be a nice hold of points regardless. So we look a little bit further back here. It's Rad, Godfrey, Bishop, and Reinhardt still very, very narrow from Godfrey. Gets up on that curb. That Honda does not like those curbs. Sends it down through Cheetah. He's got a pretty good run here on Rad. He's showing in the mirrors. Takes it narrow. It's going to hamper his line down the straight. It's very wide on the exit. I think we're picking up a speed token for that. Or cashing in a speed token, sorry. But for the time being, it's not on.
10 minutes has now become medium rain. I think Godfrey's slicks from the start of the race are starting to feel a little bit. Honda has shown pretty good pace around here in previous seasons, and a shout out to Scott Rochwood and Alec. I did get P2 here in the wet in a Honda. It was an amazing job by him. It's a little bit slidey there from Godfrey though through Barbecue. I think all these guys, it's a little bit of a waiting game for when the rain is going to be arriving, and surely going to be arriving also soon right now. And how quickly do you blink? As soon as you see the rain, do you just go straight into pits right away? I think it will arrive very quickly. Granted, it is going to be light rain at the start before developing into medium rain, but I'm sure some of these guys will want to get off their sort of second-hand slicks.
Yeah, definitely. I think you had to wait like at least a lap, but I think it's going to come pretty thick and fast. I'm expecting it at about the 20-minute mark. So just look a little bit further back, we do catch up with some of these Ferraris that had some misadventures earlier in the race. Rashuti, Mags, and Barker all grouped together. Well, Barker a bit further down the road, sorry, but these guys looking to get past these Pro-Am runners, but find themselves way down the order.
Philip are doing some amazing laps on the slicks right now, still 41.1. That's so close to qualify. Oh, weird there from Ricciuti. Like he turned in early, or the rear came around as soon as he turned in. That was very odd to say. He gets an awful run with Jacob Max right there behind. Jacob Max and Stefano Ricciuti, these guys are right at the very top of the race at the start, but unfortunately just had unfortunate errors as well. You know, a small error from Ricciuti, and we're going to stop that because Brock Godfrey going for a move on the inside of J-Rad in the McLaren, looking to break up the inside. Will he get it stopped? That's quite deep. It's very deep, and there's a small touch between them. Rad might feel like he was a little bit down. Bishop round the outside and gets a hip check as well from the McLaren. No Reinhardt benefiting, getting ahead. But, that's all a bit messy, I have to say.
Yeah, that wasn't the best racing I've ever seen there, but Godfrey getting a little bit deep there. Rad sort of not anticipating that super duper well, bit of a touch, but yeah, Bishop just turning into the side of Rad. But yeah, those guys were cooking that one up for a little while there. Godfrey definitely had a lot of pace. As I think, is he trying to redress but to the wrong car? No, that is the right car. Apologies. He's redressed that one, but he's gonna lose. Oh, he's losing out potentially to Reinhardt. Reinhardt looks to go to the inside. Godfrey covers it off at the very last second.
Wasn't redressed.
Yeah, fair enough. It was very deep from Godfrey. Rad did a good job to keep him very narrow and got himself back out on the racing line. But yeah, as I said, just couldn't quite anticipate how deep Godfrey was going to go. So wasn't able to just scoop back under. But for the time being, I think Jacob Mag's actually getting past Stefano Rashuti with that repaired Ferrari.
Yeah, just got ahead as well as Luke Marvel comes into the pits right now. It might be a bit early, Luke, if you want to take those slicks. I hope you are taking slicks. You might have run out of, may have only fuel for half the race potentially, but not too sure on that one. But yeah, Stefano, there's a commiserations for these two really, because they, one was self-inflicted with Stefano losing it here. I saw raindrops. It's here. Never mind. Switch those wipers on. It is rain. Perfect time for Luke Marble. Please tell me you've gone out on the wet tires. That would have been very perfect. As Glory Babby now, potentially one of the first of he's going to be the first of the front runners to box if he chooses to this lap. But rain coming down pretty quick, I have to say.
Yeah, it's already. I told you, thick and fast. We shall see. No.
It might update once he leaves the pit lane potentially. What's it gonna be for Luke Marble? Oh no.
Luke!
Not like this. Not like this, Luke. Oh, he was looking so good. We'll have to come around again, definitely. Yeah, he ain't surviving with those slicks to the end. I really hope that's a spectator bug for him. But first season, it's a learning season.
It so is, but he would have had such a good result if he just picked the wet tires. I'm actually heartbroken. I can't believe it. I can't believe he done this.
Yeah, so Babby has gone round again. I think understandable. The first lap is like, until he gets to the track, it has gone greasy already. I think by the time next lap, it will be ready for wet. So it might be one more lap before they go around. So yep, Bakita, Babby, everywhere you can see there, no pit stop markers against any of the top runners until they obviously come in. But yeah, I reckon maybe next time round we'll see a lot of people in the box for sure. It is going to start coming down pretty quickly because the track hasn't necessarily rubbed it in that much, so it hasn't lost its fast rating. So it'll quickly go to greasy and potentially to damp.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, if these guys, we just saw them go past the pit lane, if they should have come in. I know it is greasy, but it's about 50 seconds. Like it's a bit of a gamble going around an extra time. Like, do you see Daviano? Obviously, having gone out long, he's probably trying to look to make up a bit more of that time, pitting a little bit earlier. So there you go. We're starting to see a bit of a slide, big slide from Rad. I'll see if Reinhardt can...
Could be just McLaren, to be honest.
no, it doesn't fit my narrative. It's a slide because it's wet.
Definitely, for sure, as well. It is definitely getting there. I think also at this point where it is perfecting the track state a little bit, but it's more so the mental state with some of the less experienced drivers. You see that rain, you're like, oh, panic, and you might not do things. Glory Babby going around again. So yeah, if you feel like if you're not losing any time, if your deltas are still medium or to green, then no point boxing, because the wets won't work until a certain amount of wetness on the track, until it really gets to damp. At the very, very, very least, as 77 has gone round that. It's, I think, Luke Marble as well, so it's got even worse for Luke Marble in the BMW. The run down to the track, we'll see. Anticipate damp. There we go. Right now, it's gone to damp track potentially, and we're going to see a quick changeover. Potentially, the wet tires optimum from the radio on the Chiefs. Going around and potentially the outside of Noah Reinhardt. We're seeing the spray. I think now is the time of the slicks. Now the time for wets. Come into the box, boys. Surely one of you's got to blink. Yep, Rad in. Noah Reinhardt in. Godfrey in. He doesn't get it stopped potentially. Oh, he did, as he caught out a little bit of Noah Reinhardt braking early, and then goes for a half spin on the exit as well. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But thankfully to get through fairly safely as Luke Marble will now get a replay of what happened to him at barbecue. Coming now through. Oh, just lost it a little bit. I think he caught the curb a little bit on the inside. Thankfully didn't meet the wall, but goes for a spin just to unfortunately hurt his ego a little bit.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think that's the first time I've ever seen an overtake into the pit lane. I don't even know what the go is there, but
I want to say that wasn't planned.
No, I don't think so either at all. But luckily they didn't quite come together.
Yeah, everyone's boxing right now. Everyone is straight in.
Yeah. It's definitely. I mean, it's definitely the time to be doing it. What are these guys? Are they? There's a Cricky. Yeah, Cricky's still out there. Is he going to try and? Surely he's not trying to brave it.
Nah, I think maybe also seeing everyone scramble into the pits. You don't want to rear-end someone. It's better to have a clean run into the pit lane. As I see, yep, Bakita in. If you're still going out on slicks right now, just absolutely stop. Just don't. Get in the pits right now. Like it's like your mum or your dad calling in.
Yeah, in the car. Get in the car, or get out of the car. Get in the kiln. Get out of the kiln. For any of my
Cricky, I'd rather be in a GTR than a McLaren in these conditions right now. Me mum's car.
Oh, it's making me nervous.
Oh.
Yeah. There we go. That's why I'm nervous. Please come in, Cricky. Cricky, get inside.
Really hope a lot of these drivers got it stopped as well for the pit entry. It looks like a lot of them did, but still a fair few to come around. So Babby, Bakita, it was about 11 seconds between Bakita and Babby, but obviously 15 seconds to serve. Crick! Bishop! What are you doing?
Hand to forehead, grimacing. I can't believe it. Oh, this is it pains me. It pains me.
We know they're on slicks because they went wide at the bottom of the hill. Like, surely, like, it's not a spectator bug. What are we doing, Ben Oliver?
No, learn.
What are we doing, boys?
Learn from
150 last time around. You're 7 seconds off the dry times. It's over.
It's over. Pack it up.
15 minutes. You ain't gonna survive that.
Bring it in on the jacks. Wet tires, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you.
Oh, well, it's great content for us.
Oh my. Samwise, to answer your question, Ben Hignet's on the cameras tonight. Big shout out to Ben Hignet.
So much going on for us. Could you imagine having to direct?
Yeah, he's doing a very, very good job keeping up with everyone. I just can't believe they've done this.
I can't believe you've done this.
I literally cannot believe they've done this.
Can't believe it's not butter.
Bakita finds herself behind McLeod again, a familiar Lamborghini.
Go on, McLeod.
It kind of sounded like you said McLeod there. McLeod, anything but this race, actually having a very fantastic race. I think Bakita waited an extra lap to come in, potentially, or just from track position.
Yeah.
Oh, no, because she served to 15 seconds, so she's a bit further down. Same with Hislop. You can see Hislop in P11 for the time being.
Bartoletti is on wets as well. Is he P5 on merit?
I think he hasn't pitted yet either. because he's slowly crept his way up. But we'll catch a little. We'll catch.
I don't know anymore. I've thrown the rulebook in the bin. Let's see right now. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get off those tires. You know how long 12 minutes is? It's wet.
Oh, I mean, look, all these people are gonna get in my DMs and be like, I saw that duos race at Spa. I saw what you did, and I'm gonna say, look, fair, but learn from me. Do better than me. It's just if you're paying attention to the radar, we knew the rain was coming for 20 minutes, and it was coming thick and fast. It's straight up wet. It is straight up wet. Cameron Thistlethwaite. I don't know why we're doing it. So, if you look, Ben Oliver leading right now, coming up to Luke Hopp. Who's our first wet runner? It is Bakita now. Oh no, it is Babby. It's definitely Babby. Sorry. So Babby was on the primo creme de la creme, top of the line strategy.
Babby did a 53 last lap, and Ben Oliver did a 53 last lap. I wonder if Ben's actually on wets and it's just bugged, or maybe was that Babby's outlap?
It was surely. That says dry. That says wet.
I don't trust it anymore.
I do trust this.
Let's see how Ben Oliver is actually driving, because this looks. I'm seeing how much that TC's just struggling, but that could be wet still. He's going to the middle of the track. He did a 55.8 last track. I think he's on 6. Yeah, that's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah, I mean he's getting a larger.
Babby's just taken 6 seconds off him. Ignore what I said.
Yeah.
It was his outlap, his previous.
So Babby obviously on the primo strategy. I think mild statistical outlier for this race. He's if everything goes well, he's going to win. But Bakita would be the one to watch in terms of the strategy call, because she started on the wets, which we learned was not quite the correct choice. Has pitted for the wets now after pitting for the slicks before. She is where is she? 326. She's just gone through barbecue. So yeah, I mean, if he's going to be losing about 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds a lap, I think she's going to find herself all the way back up there. I think it was wets. Wets was definitely the call. Sorry, Gricky.
I think Bakita can get up to P2 overall from this.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Granted, the 15-second penalty, but I think it's looking pretty likely. What a turnaround from lap 1. Did we think we would be here right now? Granted, Bakita and Babby towards the front. Yeah, that's pretty understandable. But based on how one of their first laps went, I wouldn't have imagined it. It's been absolutely amazing with this variable weather right now, and it's I've been loving every second of it. These two still, Crick and Bishop, still out on slicks. Are they going to go through mine shaft? Are they going to slide off? They look like polar bears in the desert right now. What are you doing, lads? It's a long way to go still, as Giacomo just around the outside with a slick tire running. Did he get it? Oh, gets it so close on he does run the rumble strip, but gets 2 wheels on it, unlike Ricciuti did find earlier in the race. But, oh my goodness, as Bakita straight up the inside of Crick. Crick's not going to fight that as well. And looks like just a fight to keep the car on track right now in the GTR. Oh my goodness, boys.
Wave goodbye to Crick back there.
There's Bakita. Looks to displace Bishop. Just can break so much later because of the difference in the tyre. Being on the right tyre, supposed to be on the completely wrong tyre. Bakita, I dare say, pretty safe to win this championship. The closest challenger is Jacob Maggs, and Jacob Maggs, I think, is still potentially down in, I think, 18th place right now. So, looking pretty good. I dare say with 150 plus points as well with the pole and the fastest lap, she's going to have more than enough points to secure a chance in the finals, as McLeod gets side through Cricky and potentially, as it cuts to the inside, and Bishop gives him the space as well. I don't know if he was going to send it up there. You've got the tyre. Don't rush to it, as Giacomo is arriving pretty quickly, so I think McLeod has that in mind. But I don't know if you're going to be able to fend away from Giacomin, knowing how quick the red Ferrari is.
Yeah, McLeod doing well there. No reason to get into anything too scrappy with those guys. You're always going to be able to get by them. And you could see, just as they're sort of getting into the S's, McLeod able to break so much later and just gets through. So wisely done. On for a very nice result. We'll see if Giacomin can throw a spanner in the works here.
I have commented, like, these guys are on the wrong tires, but I think where Ben Oliver is, granted, there's probably a few more laps in it as Giacomin Slayout. I think he is. This is going to be an overall gain from him if he can keep it going right now.
Potentially, actually. I think, like, objectively wrong tire, but maybe for where he was in his race, it is the right tire, because he's probably going to finish P5, P6. Like, that's a great result.
The field spread was so huge as well, like, before even the rain arrived. So we criticised it, but we're commentators, so we're wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I'm wrong. I'm wrong on the reg. I hope no one takes anything I say particularly personally, because especially hot out of the car, my mind's scrambled eggs, brother. You know.
Love a bit of scrambled eggs.
Oh, love a bit of scrambled eggs.
Oh, the best thing, a bit on toast. Yeah, sorry, you had to deviate the food at some point. It's the rules. But I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm keen for anything right now after this. But it's been a great race to call. Thank you everyone to being here. Hit the like button as well. Thank you to Thermaltakes, our sponsors as well. Thank you to everyone, the stewards. Shout out to the stewards as well. How much have they had to do this race? Shout out to obviously the previous broadcast and Split Yellow. The peeps that are going to be here tomorrow. Jaden, Sean, potentially the rest as well. Damiano and potentially George for Split Red. Obviously Glenn and obviously Ben Higner as well. Thank you to everyone, all the race directors. Give them some love, because everyone, we're all working on our own time here. It's great to have this stuff. ACC might be towards the end of its life. Oh, Spakita gets a little bit squirrely there into Crocodiles, but we're still here. We're still having a great time with some great driving and some great races.
Samwise bringing up a pretty good point. We have been on their case a little bit here, but Bishop and Crick actually probably on for a good result if they can manage their way to the end. Samwise saying that Bishop was P12 before that next second set of stops for the wet tires. So, yeah, I think it looks bad, but I think they're actually going to end up being pretty alright.
Yeah, so Rob Underwood's right behind him and John Hislop, but Bartolotti's a bit further back, and he's on slicks as well, so he's not a threat. But I believe Rad might be the next car. I don't know if Rad's still on slicks. I think, no, we saw him box, so he's definitely on the wet tires. Potentially 5 minutes ago, we're going to have 2-3 laps. Could catch it, if there is a delta of about 7 seconds as Bakita gets through on P2. That's kind of a formality right now against the Aston Martin on the dries. But up into P2.
No!
From Bakita.
Why is Rob in the pits? Underwood. Why is Underwood in the pits? No! No.
Short fueled?
Oh, that's my heart.
He should be okay because Miller is still nowhere. Who was P3? Oh, I need to look at. I didn't account for P3 in the Silver Championship.
Oh, I
think he's safe.
Actually,
he's ahead of every other Silver. No, Ben Oliver.
Oliver is in the mix for P3, but he's not P3. Let me do a little bit of quick math. You commentate this battle.
Quick maths. The Giacomin right now, all over the back of McLeod. Is potentially P4 from McLeod who can defend, but 4 minutes to go. It is a big ass from Luca Giacomin, one of the strongest drivers in the split. Defends the inside, does the Lamborghini going into Crocodiles, but Giacomin on the round side going to get a cleaner run to Cheetah, but it's nothing coming of it as they filter in line through Cheetah and the last potential corner as well. He's got pace though as Luca. He knows that he can get Underwood, the Lamborghini of McLeod right now. Going now for a run in the championship. Amazing stuff from McLeod as the Pro-Am driver. Put it together, kind of a very quiet race, a clean race. Potentially, who knows what they started with, but has found himself right now towards the tippity top right now. And at worst, potentially we're going to have a P5 for our Pro-Am. So come now into turn 1. Gia coming getting close, but nothing coming of it as well. Ben Oliver only 5 seconds ahead, so they might actually catch Ben Oliver towards the end of this lap. I will say, you know, if you're going to be in any car on the slicks, you know, the wrong tire for the conditions, the Aston Martin's a pretty good one with its good power delivery. And we're seeing how things go right now. Potentially, Ben Oliver. Yeah, I mean, you had to say for Alistair McLeod as well, like, they are going to get that Aston Martin. You're already seeing it starting to range in. It could be P3, and who knows how things will develop. But Luca Giacomin is ready to absolutely just take it away from it. Based on where we're looking, car 47, the triangle on the track map right now, he is coming up to the line. He's right up to Cheetah. I dare say we're going to have obviously the end of this lap, and then one more, so 2 more laps once towards the end of this. So potentially a time still for Alistair McLeod to defend from Luca Giacomin, and defending is what he has to do, is a run now to mineshaft as the Lamborghini was under threat there from the Ferrari. Look now into Crocodiles. I think this is where Luca feels like he wants to go for the move, but the Lambo defends the inside. He knows what to do. He places the car well there, but does he get it stopped? They both go run quite deep as they are quickly. The Aston Martin's right there right now and run now through Cheetah. Surely the Aston Martin is going to get swallowed up this lap around as they get also close. And the Lambo, I think it's just going to get one traction alone to run now through turn 1 and turn 2. See how Giacomin, I think Giacomin will try and keep it up the inside and get ahead of the Aston Martin and not lose any time to the Lamborghini.
Yeah, McLeod doing a good job here, just managing this situation. Giacomin a little bit further back later on the brakes, though, has closed up that gap that McLeod was able to get down the straight. But for the time being, McLeod's still in the driver's seat here. I do just an update on the Silver Championship, Rob. I don't see Miller anywhere on their timing tower. Miller would need to get 40 points on Rob's nothing. So he's fine. And Rob's drop round actually... No, Rob's fine. Rob's got an 80-point drop round in hand. So even if he gets 0 here, he's got this on lock. And Oliver, though in a very good position now, is not in any sort of striking distance to Rob. So congratulations, Rob.
Yep. Not over till it's over. He could fail Motec, could get disqualified, but I think he could still be safe anyway. But yeah, great job by Rob Underwood this whole season as well. Not sure why he had to box. Well, maybe we'll find out later after the race why he had to go on. But look at Giacomin that round. The leader has started this lap slap, so is now on never. Defends the inside again at Crocodiles. Lucas, can't do anything about it other than go into the back of the Lamborghini, which he doesn't want to do. He runs out. It's an blue flag car. Gets off track as well. Didn't impede these two. Oh, big ask from McLeod. One more lap, though, to seal a P3, but he goes up the inside of the last corner. Ingwe gets it up the inside, gets it stopped, and potentially a better run from the Lamborghini. Can he return serve? He goes up to the inside. He wants to defend the inside coming into the first corner. You see now, so the run through Cheetah as well from the Lamborghini. Looks fine, and I think he's just going to sell him the dubby. Yep, he goes to the outside, then switches back to the inside, gets a stop. That's a good move from Liga Joe Carmen. It caught him, caught McLeod off, and McLeod hasn't been able to do anything into turn 1, 2, or 3 as well. But he might go back up the inside of Barbecue, up the inside. Does he get it stopped? There's a hip check. I don't think that's going to be looked at very nicely as he does get ahead. But oh dear. I'd redress that. But does he know?
Yeah, it's a little bit spicy there from McLeod. I don't think he needed to fight that hard. Obviously, he wants it. He's hungry, but he's gonna get a bump, and he might actually find himself down below, 2 positions down. What's?
Come on, boys. Oh, how many contacts? 1, 2, 3, 4 before they even turn 1. But yeah, oh dear. I feel like this was a bit of a set. Oh no, the replay ends right then. But anyway, we saw it happen. What will Luca do? Will he rely on the redress? Will he rely on the stewards to intervene? I don't know what to say, but anyway, Glory Babby has won the race. Shout out to him. He has done an impeccable job from the commiserations of the first lap. Running now into the Crocodiles. Pilikid is going to take P2, rounding the last corner. Luca runs wide at Crocodiles. I think it's going to be set for McLeod to finish across the line in P3, but we'll see. Will there be a penalty? He runs right through Cheetah, so does Giacomin as well. I don't think anything's going to happen. He gets close. Oh, there is going to be McLeod across the line in P3. It's an amazing job by him, but will it change from the stewards? Because I feel like that move at Barbecue is definitely not going to be going to be a little bit fouled on.
Yeah, I think the fairy tale might crumble to dust slightly. I think at the very least that move, as you said, into Barbecue
Ben
was
Oliver.
a little bit hasty, but
it's been pipped. Never mind. Timing tower lied.
So his up from Oliver. John Rad comes through P7. Thurklini finishes where he qualified in P8. Noah Reinhardt P9. Bishop, Godfrey, sorry, P10. Bishop P11. And there's a Bison. Oh,
Bison Steve. Oh, he's so happy. He's so happy. But yeah, amazing job, Rad. And looks like Cricky unfortunately did fall out of the top 10 as well as Bishop as well. So I think they kind of finished where they were before the pit stops. And they crossed the line as well. Bartoletti, Siam, Ricciuti recovers to 15th. Mags there in 18th, and I think that's a safe bet. Bakita is going to win the championship for Split Green overall, as well as Rob Underwood for silver as well. And I apologize to anyone else. Tarab Bank isn't here either, but I'm not sure if he's been outscored by 79 points. Actually, no, Reinhardt, P6. Sorry, not P6. Sorry, there. I'm looking at the champions here. We'll get the results. We'll get it sorted out, but keep an eye on the standings because this is all changed after the drop round has to be taken in effect as well.
Yeah, I think I was just looking at that. It is going to be pretty close between Reinhardt and Bank. And I wish someone who was better at maths was in here. I wish Breno was in here. But for the time being, it's Babby from Bakita. From provisionally McLeod, I would say it's probably going to be Giacomin. From Hislop, Oliver, Rad, Thurklini, Reinhardt, and Godfrey. Your silver class is going to be Oliver, Godfrey, and Maxell. Big shout out to Gallagher. I think that was his first race at Octane. It's a pretty good result. Pro-Am, McLeod, P1, John Rad, Noah Reinhardt, and the Am class, I believe we have Bishop and Bartoletti. So, Bishop's not an Am, so it's just Bartoletti. Wow, that was a lot, Cameron.
That was a lot. I had to give my driver of the day to the Penrite Mustang, I think, of Glory Babby. Despite how badly things went on the first lap, he kept his head, he kept in it, he didn't throw in the towel, and has been rewarded with the win as well. Who's your driver of the day?
I think it absolutely has to be Glory. I think McLeod was in with the shout, but the scrappy ending unfortunately tarnished a Cinderella story for me. I think that's probably a little bit of that inexperience coming through. You're excited for a good result, and you don't want to let go. But unfortunately, made the situation a little bit worse for yourself. Breno in the chat, thank you, Breno. It's just saying that Reinhardt needed a podium, so Tarab does hold on, but it was a valiant effort from Noah, coming in leaps and strides this season, and last season he's improving quite a bit. But yeah, what a race, Cameron Thistlethwaite. What an end to this season.
Yeah, it's been a great season to call. Thank you to Blake, and thank you to Tim Gerber as well, who's called this season with me, and I believe Sean filled in as well for a round, so I appreciate every one of you. But fantastic race as well. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Ben, as well on the cams. Thank you to people in chat as well. Dieballs, Aiden, Kamaris as well. Obviously, Breno as well. For anyone who's filled in the chat, Ryan Anderson as well is giving us the juicy details. But that will be me, Cameron, and it'll be Blake, and it'll be Ben. Tune in tomorrow. We'll have LMU series finale as well, followed by Split Red, obviously here at Kyalami. LMU is going to Silverstone, so tune in well for that. It's the end of their season as well. Should be very spicy to see hypercars and GTs around the Silverstone track. Obviously Split Red as well, determined to finish up their championship strongly. So obviously we got the the finals on the Saturday 8th, I want to say, for Watkins and Suzuka in November. But yeah, thank you from me, thank you from Blake, thank you from Ben, and have a great night, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.